The story begins with the main character falling through endless starry skies. A desperate voice echoing in his ears. Like a soul's call, wake up. His body seemed to surrender completely. Drifting aimlessly in the invisible sea of heavens, the voice returned, now tinged with sorrow. You're about to pass from this world. Yet he kept his eyes shut tight, as if severed from the mortal realm. Suddenly, his eyelids flew open in panic. A shocking thought thundering in his mind. Die? How? He jolted awake, realizing his limbs were tightly bound with ropes on a strange bed. Screaming inwardly, what the hell is happening? A wave of memories flooded back, revealing the silhouette of a woman who had ruthlessly ambushed him. At that moment, the room's door swung open, and in stepped a stunning beauty in deep red robes. Her figure graceful, curves perfectly defined. Her dress was slit high on both sides, exposing legs as white as early winter snow. A small horn protruding from her forehead like a demonic emblem. She looked at the bound man, lips curling smugly. Finally, you're awake. Sweat poured from him like rain. He muttered in disbelief. Gu Baiken, have clearly transmigrated. The crimson beauty slowly climbed onto the bed, revealing long, mesmerizing legs, her voice heavy with melancholy. You've been unconscious for many days. Gu Baiken's face darkened like a northern winter sky. His eyes filled with exhaustion and helplessness. The red-robed girl gently sat atop him, her voice soft as velvet. Hongsho was so worried about you. Her slender, pale fingers glided over his chiseled abs, as if cherishing a sculpted masterpiece. Her eyes gleamed with barely concealed affection. Now that you've woken on your own, it's truly a cause for joy. Gu Baiken glanced at her, his heart surging. Not only have I transmigrated, but I'm entangled in a massive trial of lust. Hongsho then touched his face, closing her eyes as if listening to his racing heartbeat. Sweat dripping from his forehead like he'd escaped a furnace. Her cheeks flushed slightly, whispering, "Are you afraid?" Then she leaned onto Gu Baiken, laughing like a demoness. Ha ha ha. In his mind, Gu Baiken could only sigh. I'm done, caught by a madwoman. Hongsho's hands kept caressing his firm chest, softly confessing, though people die daily in the Asura sect, I Hongsho will protect you. With that, she gently drew a drop of blood from Gu Baiken, symbolizing her vow to shield him from the murderous intent of her sect's peers. Gu Baiken's face turned pale as a banana leaf, blood spewing from his mouth, eyes staring blankly at Hongsho, who casually licked the blood lingering on his lips. She whispered, her tone teasing yet resentful. Who told you to be the first to see my entire body? And to steal my precious first kiss? No less. As she spoke, her eyes flashed with wicked intent, her lips curving into a half-demonic, half-seductive smile, her hand gently wiping the blood from her mouth as if savoring a rare delicacy. Gu Baiken gritted his teeth, body aching, thinking in despair. Could it be that I'll die right after transmigrating? At that moment, a virtual interface appeared in his mind. Host detected in critical danger. Holy Maiden Forced Rescue System, activate? Finally, the signature system of a transmigrator, he cheered inwardly. Though his face remained pale, sweat soaking him. The reason? That woman still clung to him like glue. In a half-conscious state, he blurted out, voice weak but defiant. Hey, woman. Hongsho raised an eyebrow, her gaze darkening like storm clouds. What the hell are you shouting for? Fury blazing, Gu Baiken roared with dragon-like might. I'll repay you double. Everything you've done, I'll take back in full. His words struck Hongsho like lightning in a clear sky. She froze, eyes wide, mouth silent. At that instant, Gu Baiken's body turned into a beam of light and vanished into the air, leaving only a commanding shout. Wait for me. This young master will return. Hongsho, startled, blinked, and he was gone. She stood dazed, then whispered, eyes gleaming with intrigue. Such tricks. Hongsho is growing fonder of you. My husband. Scene shift to a mysterious, secluded courtyard of unknown location. In a quiet room, Gu Baiken suddenly appeared, hand on his chest, breathing lightly. The system is truly extraordinary. All my injuries are gone. But before he could finish the thought, he stumbled, crashing into a bathtub where a girl was soaking. The tub shattered, water exploding like a broken dam. Scrambling up in panic, His face blank, he cried out. Why, another damned situation like this? The girl in the tub hadn't opened her eyes. But her face darkened, her aura gathering like a thunderstorm. Gu Baiken backed away. Hands raised in surrender. Stammering. I swear, it's a misunderstanding. Believe me, please. The girl suddenly opened her eyes. Gaze sharp as a blade. Her hand touching his firm chest before screaming, sweeping cloud storm. In an instant, a torrent of spiritual energy erupted uncontrollably from his body. Like a volcano's unchecked fury. And then, Gu Baiken was blasted out of the room like a kite with a cut string. Mid-air, he groaned. It's over, damn system. You've killed me. Gu Baiken crashed to the ground with such force that the earth split. Stones flying like hail in a storm, clutching his chest. Dazed, he muttered. No pain? Really? Not a bit of pain? Like a machine, he sat up, eyes blankly staring into the distance, murmuring, I'm still alive? The system chimed in, voice flat. Due to the host now inheriting a portion of Holy Maiden Hongxiu's power from the Asura sect, Gu Baiken glared at the system. Suspicious. What do you mean? Explain clearly. The system replied. Bored. The Holy Maiden system allows the host to absorb power from a Holy Maiden with whom a bond is formed. Sole condition. She must call the host's intimate name with true sincerity. A panel appeared before his eyes. Hongxiu, bond stage. Initial, current power, not yet activated. Gu Baiken's eyes widened like he'd been struck by lightning. What? That witch called me, husband? That's intimacy? He erupted in rage, eyes bloodshot, smashing the system panel to bits. She drank my blood. Stabbed me without missing. And that's a bond? Is this love at first sight? At that moment, light footsteps echoed on the stone steps. And a clear female voice rang out. You survived my sweeping cloud strike? Hearing this, Gu Baiken frowned slightly. A warning echoing in his mind. Right. I got too excited and forgot. This place is still a dangerous land. While he hesitated, the white-haired woman appeared before him. Her face merciless, eyes cold as spring frost. She smirked faintly. Think you're safe with backing? Taste my Six Gates sect's peak-splitting slash. With that, her figure shot forward like a silver arrow. Sword in hand, charging at him like a blinding whirlwind. Gu Baiken, terrified, sweat pouring like rain, dodged and shouted. Wait. It's a misunderstanding. A huge misunderstanding. The silver-haired woman didn't relent, unleashing a sharp sword chi. But he somersaulted away, escaping by a hair's breadth. Her fury erupted. You saw my entire body and dare call it a misunderstanding? Facing her fierce assault, Gu Baiken's eyes widened, face frozen, speechless. The sword gleamed, aimed at his throat, her shout shaking the sky. Pervert. Go to hell. But, at that life or death moment, Gu Baiken's body vanished, leaving empty air and the swordswoman's stunned gaze. Huh? Gone again? In the system space, a shimmering glow appeared at the center. Like a mystical portal to another dimension, Gu Baiken tumbled in, hands bracing the ground, dust swirling around him, as if he'd just survived a great calamity. He slowly opened his eyes, looked around, and muttered, Good, I haven't been sent to meet my ancestors yet. Then he raised his head, staring at the system panel before him, face full of bewilderment. Standing, he scanned the strange space around him, mind left with two giant question marks. A transparent notification quietly appeared in midair. Welcome, host, to the system space. From the radiant glow at the center, a refined maiden with an ethereal aura emerged, her gentle voice saying, I am the Palace Guardian Holy Maiden, responsible for guiding you in this system. Due to the emergency, I summoned you here to preserve your life. Please forgive me. Gu Baiken sprawled comfortably on a peculiar chair, eyes half closed, responding leisurely. No worries. You saved my life. Now, can you tell me what's special about this place? With that, he sat up, eyes flashing as if recalling something. Wait, isn't this place a lot like the main god space? The system displayed text like silk fluttering in the air. The system space is an infinite, independent world solely owned by the host. You can relax, cultivate, or train skills here, since your power comes from absorbing a holy maiden's abilities. Mastering them requires rigorous training. Gu Baiken rubbed his chin, pondering. So that's it. No wonder I got beaten senseless by that woman despite having Hongxiu's power. By completing missions or enhancing power tied to bonded holy maidens, you'll unlock the reward vault, containing treasures from all realms. Items related to holy maidens have the highest drop rate. Gu Baiken chuckled. So it's a gacha game. Got it. He bent down, touching a glowing pillar resembling a prize machine, asking the guardian, "Can I play now?" The maiden nodded slightly. "You have 5 draws. One at a time, or try your luck with all 5. Without hesitation, he flicked the switch with blazing enthusiasm. One by one, "I'll make a miracle happen." A white orb with green trim rolled out. Plain in appearance, the panel read, "Common, empty." Opening the orb, Gu Baiken's face darkened. Teeth clenched as if ready to crush everything. In a fit of rage, he threw the orb to the ground, roaring, "Empty? There's such a garbage thing?" From behind, the guardian's voice floated gently. "Occasionally getting an empty item is quite normal." Gritting his teeth, he slammed the switch again, refusing to give up. The second orb rolled out. Green. Common, body strengthening pill. The third was blue. Common, empty. The fourth glowed faint purple. Labeled, rare, threefold cultivation queries. He cursed in frustration. Damn it. All useless junk. Gu Baiken turned into a whirlwind of fury. Eyes white with rage, teeth grinding. Last one. I refuse to believe I won't get something decent. He hit the switch with all his remaining faith. Suddenly, the machine blazed with light, a radiant glow illuminating the entire system space, signaling something extraordinary was coming. Gu Baiken's eyes widened, sweat pouring like June rain. Muttering eagerly, It's coming." The system flashed a golden announcement. "Congratulations, legendary quality, heavenly sound body." From the machine, a golden orb rolled out, reflecting Hongxiu's stunning visage within. Gu Baiken lifted the orb with both hands, grinning like he'd struck gold. "It's here, it's real." The guardian clapped enthusiastically behind him, her face beaming like a grandma winning the lottery. "Congratulations, host, on obtaining the Asura sect holy maiden Hongxiu's physique. The heavenly sound body enhances control over spiritual energy and sound-based principles. It's a rare physique across all realms." Gu Baiken, holding the mica card etched with Hongxiu's image, asked excitedly, "So, how do I use this thing?" The guardian replied bluntly, "Swallow it." Her answer left Gu Baiken dumbfounded, eyes nearly popping out. "Swallow, what?" The system explained in a monotone, like a news anchor. Each mica card has a unique flavor, from sweet strawberry to refreshing mineral water, to stinky tofu mixed with durian. Gu Baiken recoiled in horror. Has this world reached the limit of taste bud terror? Bracing himself like a man facing execution, he swallowed the mica card whole. Face red, sweat gushing, cheeks puffed like steamed buns. Ice cream flavor? As he swallowed, a torrent of spiritual energy surged through his body like a spring unleashed. Gu Baiken shivered with exhilaration. "Oh, I feel an unstoppable power rising." As the energy stabilized, the white-haired maiden's image flashed in his mind. He gritted his teeth, smirking. "Hey, woman. Just wait. The game's only begun." Scene shift. Amid lush green mountains blanketed in grass, mist weaving like celestial silk, a square spatial gate appeared. Gu Baiken strolled out casually, sipping peach tea with his left hand, as if on a park walk. Not a life or death adventure. The system interface lit up with a map, a note flashing. Current coordinates may be inaccurate due to unstable teleportation energy. Gu Baiken frowned. This off-target is a bit too much. He sighed like someone facing a 3-day mountain trek. To return to the city, it'll take at least 3 days of walking. Meanwhile, in Guardian Wing City, where he'd appeared, walls were plastered with wanted posters of his face, each labeled, "Wanted, extremely dangerous." At that moment, a man sauntered by, carrying a lantern, muttering like chanting scripture. "Dry weather, beware of fire." That night, under an inky sky, a graceful figure glided over rooftops, a ghostly breeze piercing the thin mist. On a high rooftop, Gu Baiken stood motionless, arms crossed, eyes quietly gazing afar, thinking, "Finally, I've waited it out. In my 3-day absence, how chaotic has this city become?" As the thought ended, His figure vanished, leaving only a resentful murmur in the air. That bastard dared frame me as a flower-picking thief? In a flash, he appeared before a shadowy figure. Their eyes locking, probing each other's intentions. The stranger roared, voice wary. Who are you? Gu Baiken snorted, lips curling. I'm your great-granddaddy. With that, he struck, unleashing the yin spirit finger. A dark gray spiritual bolt shooting like night lightning. Unstoppable. The spiritual force hit the foe's arm, forcing him back, black viscous liquid splattering. Gu Baiken narrowed his eyes. That isn't normal human blood. The opponent couldn't hide his shock. How is this? Impossible. Instantly, the foe's lower body turned into roiling black smoke, coiling like a solid entity. Hands forming seals, chanting ancient incantations. At that moment, Gu Baiken calmly removed his face scarf, revealing a handsome but icy countenance. His right hand waved, the system interface flaring brightly, illuminating a patch of sky. On the system panel, the Guardian appeared. Someone named Nan Cheng Ben spoke. Didn't you say this was an ordinary martial world? What's with those demonic evils? The Guardian replied sternly, it is ordinary. But, the truth requires the host's investigation. The system mission updated. Investigate the source of evil aura in Plum Blossom Continent. Reward: 10 draw tickets. Gu Baiken's face lit up. Channeling energy. Pounding the system mouse. Roaring excitedly. With rewards. I'll investigate this to the end for you all. On bustling Lantern Street, amid lively crowds, two familiar figures, Ni Xiaochen and Zhang San, strolled to a roadside stall. A cheerful vendor called, "Aha! Here's the great constable. Want a special assorted bowl? 2 portions," came the firm reply. In the shop, Baiken glanced at them, eyes flashing, recognizing that female constable. A sinister smirk curved his lips, chilling onlookers. None suspected the villain wore an official's garb. Tonight, this young master will expose your demonic truth, he thought. The scene shifted to a remote monastery. A dark mist looming across the sky. The figure in the mist looked around, eyes gleaming like a rat spotting cheese. Well, not a soul in sight. Heaven aids me. With a hiss, he shot upward like an arrow. Baiken, hiding nearby, tracked the ascending figure, eyes unwavering. Another sly half-smile bloomed on his face. Moments later, the black mist landed on an inn's roof. He called, "Anyone inside? If empty, it's time to talk." A voice replied, "Come in quick." In a small room, 3 figures at a table turned to him. One frowned. "Didn't we say no visits unless it's serious?" The man nearly sobbed, wailing like calling his mother. I'm in trouble. Someone attacked me last night." Before finishing, a man in green robes lunged, grabbing his collar, glaring. "You joking?" Trembling, the man shed his shirt, stammering. "No lie, look." On his shoulder, a gaping hole like a beetle nut wound, deep enough to see through. A white-robed man with a ponytail stood abruptly, face paling. "Is this real? Who did this?" I don't know." The wounded man stuttered. The other 2 turned to a man slumped at the table, pressing. "Prince, what now? Proceed with the plan?" The so-called prince slowly raised his head, eyes cold as night frost. "No matter. The Emperor Bridge ambush will proceed as planned. 10 days from now." Baiken, eavesdropping from the roof, caught every word, whispering. "Reinforcements? Huh? I'll remember that." Once more, a menacing smile crossed Baiken's face. Scene shifted to West Lake. There, a troop of soldiers was rallied by their commander. "All rise. Muster your spirit. Prepare to march." "Yes, sir." Suddenly, the commander frowned, turning with suspicion, sensing something off. He sternly asked a nearby soldier, "Who are you? Why haven't I seen you?" The soldier bowed, saluting. "General, I'm newly assigned. Join the ranks." "Yes, sir." Turning away, the soldier's eyes gleamed smugly, lips twitching like a cat spotting fish. It was Baiken in disguise. The palace scene unfolded in a grand, splendid hall. The emperor on his dragon throne, weary, tilting his head to ask an old minister, "Didn't Constable Ni promise to bring something astonishing to me? Where is she? Why hasn't she arrived?" Before he finished, a graceful figure entered, Xiao Chen, holding a gleaming brocade chest. She bowed, softly saying, "This humble woman has kept your majesty waiting. My apologies." She gently placed the chest on the imperial table, her pale, jade-like hand gliding over its surface. Movements calm and composed. The emperor narrowed his eyes, visibly skeptical. From the chest, wisps of white mist drifted, chillingly cold. He frowned, asking, "What's this?" "Cold as ice and snow. What's inside?" The maiden smiled faintly, face brimming with excitement. "Your Majesty, allow this humble woman to open it for you to witness." As the chest's lid opened, thick white mist billowed out, ethereal like an immortal realm. The emperor beside it stood stunned, eyes wide with wonder. Inside was a shimmering glass bottle filled with dark brown liquid, paired with a matching crystal-clear goblet, radiant as autumn water. Xiao Chen gestured. "Your humble servant presents. This is the famed Liuli wine bottle. And beside it, its matching Liuli goblet." The old minister gasped. "Your Majesty, is this truly Liuli? So clear, so exquisite." The emperor, thrilled, beamed like spring's early bloom. "Constable Ni, tell me, where did you find such a treasure?" She raised her index finger, gently waving it, eyes sparkling like hidden stars. Before answering, "I'd like to ask your Majesty, are you curious what this bottle contains?" The emperor stroked his chin, curiosity plain on his face. "Now that you mention it, I'm intrigued. Is it fine wine?" "No, there's no wine's aroma." "So, what is it?" Xiao Chen poured some liquid into the goblet, smirking slyly. "Your Majesty, take a sip, and you'll know." The emperor raised the goblet to eye level, tiny bubbles fizzing endlessly, sparking a sense of novelty. He looked like a child about to uncover a secret game. Without waiting, he took a sip, his face instantly twisted, grimacing as if his beard were yanked, letting out a pained groan. The old minister, alarmed, rushed forward, shouting, "Your Majesty, what's wrong? I'm worried sick." The old eunuch, face red with fury, spun on Xiao Chen, bellowing, "How dare you? What strange thing did you give His Majesty?" She remained calm, smiling serenely. "Eunuch, no need to worry, I've considered everything." Surprisingly, the emperor's cheeks flushed rosy, like after a spring wine, eyes gleaming like dawn stars, laughing brightly. "Ha ha, marvelous." A gentle sweetness, with tiny bubbles popping in the mouth. An oddly refreshing sensation. "It's as if my soul's been cleansed." Endlessly invigorated, he turned to her, eyes eager. "Constable Ni, what divine item is this?" "Not water, nor wine." Xiao Chen glanced at the fizzing Liuli bottle, softly reporting, "Your Majesty, this has a simple yet intriguing name, sparkling bubble water." The emperor laughed heartily. "The name fits perfectly." She continued, "Days ago, I obtained this from the Shen family, renowned in medicine Guardian City." At that moment, a frantic shout echoed from outside the hall. "Assassin! Protect His Majesty!" The atmosphere darkened as eerie, seductive yin energy emerged, the soul-scattering wraith claw, a technique unique to the ghost realm. Two guards were flung back, sliding toward Xiao Chen as if hurled by an invisible force. Xiao Chen and the old eunuch stepped forward, shielding the emperor like two impregnable city gates. Then, a figure emerged from the purple mist. "We meet again." It was the prince, his expression icy, face shadowed, aura crackling like thunder, purple light flashing ominously. He bared his teeth in a chilling smile, his sword-sharp gaze fixed on Emperor Ming Guangzhan. The emperor recognized him, face paling in horror, stammering, "Nuo Qi? Impossible. How are you alive?" In that shocked gaze, memories flooded back, replaying like a reversed film in the emperor's mind. Years ago, at the execution square, a family knelt bound under heaven and earth. A sharp command rang out, "Traitors to the royal clan, exterminate their 9 generations." The child then, young Ming Guangzhan, had red, teary eyes, face full of confusion. Among the condemned was Nuo Qi, eyes blazing with rage, teeth gritted, glaring ahead, shouting, "Execute them now." Blood flowed like a torrent of vengeance. Back in the present, Xiao Chen raised her arms, eyes blazing with killing intent, shouting her technique, sweeping cloud storm, her body swirling with fierce winds and flying dust. The old eunuch matched her, channeling inner force, unleashing the bone-wheel's soft palm, his robust energy surging like crashing waves. Ready for battle. Both Xiao Chen and the eunuch struck in unison, their forms like coiling smoke, charging the prince, enveloping him in fierce currents like winter thunder. Yet the prince stood unmoved, arms crossed, lips curling in mockery, pointless effort. Two distinct forces, one gentle as autumn water, one fierce as a gale, closed in together. But, at that moment, his body emitted a dark, eerie demonic aura, startling both attackers, forcing them to retreat in shock. His eyes blazed like torches in the night, hand tracing an arc in the air. The force of that motion hurled both back like leaves in a storm. Xiao Chen crashed hard to the ground, dust billowing around her. The eunuch slammed into a large wooden panel, shattering it like rotten paper. In a flash, the prince advanced toward the dragon throne, his claw-like hand seizing the emperor's throat. "Don't panic," he growled. "I won't kill you. You must live, for Boqing's restoration. A wretch like you will bear witness." The emperor's face paled, sweat dripping like summer rain, hissing through clenched teeth. "You, what are you?" The prince narrowed his eyes, sinking into memories of a mysterious benefactor from years ago. In a dim cave long ago, a silver-cloaked figure stood on a high ledge, voice booming like an ancient bell. "I am no man. I am a god." Ghost gods wield power beyond mortal limits. He raised a spearhead carved with ancient runes, its eerie glow spreading, chanting a summons. "Demon spirits, take form." A vortex of energy opened in the air, from which Nuo Chi's withered form slowly emerged, as if his soul were dragged back from hell. He opened icy eyes, facing the cloaked figure, who nodded gravely. "Welcome back, Nuo Chi." In that moment, he seemed reborn, hands clutching his chest, eyes disbelieving. "This is my heart? I hear it beating." Emotions surged like a tide. "Incredible. I'm alive, truly alive." The cloaked figure suddenly raged, face cold as ash, hands forming seals to summon demonic power. He hurled the energy at Nuo Chi, who flinched, unable to react. In an instant, the energy formed invisible chains, binding him like shackles from hell. "You're already dead." His voice icy as frost. "Only I using forbidden arts to recall your soul. And why you exist. Accept that truth, you fool." As the chilling words echoed, a dark memory flashed in Nuo Chi's mind. The moment a cold blade descended on his neck. "Death, was it?" he muttered. When Beijing's capital fell, Ming's army breached the gates. The entire royal clan was captured. Heads rolled, blood flowed. Ming Junzhong, the butcher who beheaded my clan. The black-robed figure spoke in a deep, guiding tone. "Nuo Chi, you've been given a chance. Revived, but not to forgive. Isn't the flame of vengeance still burning in you?" He summoned a magical artifact, resembling a shadowy sacred forest. "Ming Guangzhan, the one on the throne today, isn't he your target?" Hearing this, Nuo Chi's eyes widened, body trembling. "Revenge, revenge. Didn't you once swear to restore your kingdom? To reclaim the stolen throne?" He bowed his head, eyes darkening, then glared up, voice hissing. "I must have my revenge." As the oath fell, the demonic aura around Qi erupted fiercely. The cave's water surged underfoot, waves rising like a stormy sea. The water swelled, splashing everywhere, drenching the black-robed figure's cloak as if he'd walked through a tempest. Caught off guard by the splash, his eyes flashed with eerie menace. Pointing at Qi, his fingertip gathered energy, unleashing a dazzling five-colored orb. Shouting, "How long will you rage? You mad fool!" The orb struck Qi, who screamed in agony, face contorted from the hit. He was blasted out of the cave, body soaring thousands of miles like a leaf in a gale. The black-robed figure dusted his hands, saying coldly, "Yang Shizhong lies buried in his tomb. The one wearing the crown now is the prince of old, Ming Guangzhan. If you seek restoration, if vengeance still courses through you, he's your target." Qi frowned, face twisted, voice hoarse. "I understand avenging my kin. But why pin restoration on him? And who are you? Why help me?" The figure lowered his head, voice echoing from an abyss. "The reason, you'll learn in time. As for my name, call me a member of Xinzu, from the Tianming organization." With that, he shed the heavy black cloak, revealing his true form hidden until now. Beneath the cloth was no old sage or demon, but a breathtakingly beautiful woman, Qingchu. Seeing her, Qi froze, mouth agape. "You, a fox spirit?" Images from ancient tales of demonic foxes rang in his mind. Were those old stories true? Qingchu smirked, eyes sharp as a sheathed blade. This world is far more complex than it seems. You're too naive. She tossed him a magical treasure, the glowing sacred forest, before facing Ming Guangzhan. You'll need allies. Take it. The object blazed fiercely, red flames spreading, heralding a new twist of fate. Qi caught the blazing object, the horned Qingchu threw. Staring blankly, he frowned. What kind of demonic thing is this? Before him, a ghastly illusion appeared, a pitch-black figure wielding a sharp blade. Backed by countless grotesque skulls, wailing spirits tearing through the void, Qingchu remained calm, her gaze like an ancient secret. This is the Tejiao ritual. The rhinoceros horn, refined through layers of demonic spells, when burned, releases green smoke that briefly summons souls of the dead back to the mortal realm. The illusion faded. In reality, 3 young figures appeared around Qi, each wreathed in faint green mist like morning mountain fog. The leader reported respectfully, "Prince, the crews of the 4 remaining warships have been set adrift on the lake, for the fish." Qi glanced at them, lips curling into a haughty, demonic smile. "Lady Ancient Deer Long Ear Aaliyah, you've done well. West Lake's fish will be fat next year." The 3 bowed in unison, chanting, "We dare not claim credit. It's our duty." Suddenly, the long-necked one showed unease, eyes wide, but he stretched his neck, face close to his comrade, shouting, "Why do you still keep your ghostly forms?" Eyes blazing, he gritted, "I ordered clearly, this time. You must inhabit mortal bodies." Caught off guard, the leader dropped to his knees, stammering, "Prince, forgive us. We kept our forms to better serve your grand cause." All 3 sweated profusely, prostrating, in mortal shells. "We'd lose our innate ghostly powers." Hearing their excuses, Qi's eyes briefly softened, then his face darkened, teeth grinding, snorting, "HMPH. I'll let this slide, but there won't be a next time." With that, his grotesque long neck retracted like a coiled rope. He stepped forward, eyes sharp as blades, aura chilling. "At my feet are 4 bodies. You 3, each pick one." Unconscious on the ground were 4, Xiao Chen, the old eunuch, and 2 fainted soldiers. The 3 spirits, eyes gleaming like children at New Year, rushed to possess the bodies without hesitation. Qi, radiating eerie yin energy, looked at the dragon throne, eyes ablaze, "And I'll take the body of the self-proclaimed emperor of Great Ming, Ming Guangzhan." The sinister energy from Qi merged into the emperor's body. Ming Guangzhan groaned, sweating profusely, eyes rolling back, body trembling as if burning inside. Qi laughed triumphantly, voice booming through the chaotic palace. "Once I complete the ritual, Beijing's royal souls will gradually possess Great Ming's people under my protection. No war, no bloodshed, Beijing will rightfully consume Great Ming. Unnoticed, the restoration begins here." As Qi boasted his grand plan, a figure thought unconscious flashed a sharp gaze. It was Baiken, disguised as a soldier, silently listening. In his mind, a realization surged. So, the recent chaos stems from Qingcho's dark arts. A Tianming member, and that eerie Tejiao ritual. A familiar voice rang in his mind. The system announced, "Congratulations. Host, mission completed. Reward, 10 lucky draw tickets." Hearing the system, Baiken smirked, eyes glinting sharply. "Time to act. To survive this mad world, perhaps I should temporarily ally with a secret force." With that, he sprang up like an arrow, unleashing 5 linked bullets, his long-hidden ultimate move from his sleeve. 5 ghostly yin energy bolts pierced Qi's minions, their bodies exploding into dust like brittle paper in fire. Vanishing in cold light, the final bolt grazed past, knocking Qi's hand from the emperor's throat. Saving him in time, Emperor Ming Guangzhan collapsed, hands scrabbling, sweating like a spring, coughing. "Saved? Who?" Baiken stood, voice ringing like a bronze bell. "Thanks, Nuo Qi, for explaining your plot in detail." He blew on his fingers like dusting gunpowder, glancing at his foe, taunting, "Consider the yin spirit 5 linked bullets my thank you gift." No need to reciprocate. Qi, furious, pointed at him, roaring, The one who gravely injured Zhang San that night, it was you. Baiken snapped his fingers, lips curling. Spot on, but sadly, no prize for you. They faced off, killing intent thick. Their gazes clashed like sharpened swords. Baiken smirked. Get ready. Today's lunch is your life. Chi laughed loudly, voice echoing from the underworld. Ha ha ha. Let's see who devours whom. Suddenly, the space trembled, a mystical green halo appearing in the hall, exuding eerie cold. Chi bowed, muttering slowly. The one to die is you. Sorry to disturb, Great Guanyin. From the halo's center, a bony foot emerged, claws long as hell's hooks, signaling another being's arrival. An odd old man stepped out, leaning on a staff, massive wings spreading like night behind him. He inhaled deeply, eyes glinting wickedly. The air of the mortal world. It's been ages since I savored this. His oppressive aura swept the palace, making Baiken step back, exclaiming, a demon, how? Without hesitation, he assumed a stance, eyes hyper-vigilant, body taut as a bowstring. The old monster chuckled, swinging his staff, unleashing bone-devouring myriad sounds. Countless sword chi poured from the staff like a deathly storm. Slashing at Baiken, sensing danger, Baiken leapt into the air, dodging like a fiery dance. He muttered, this sword chi, too dangerous. Better avoid direct contact. One hit could be fatal. The winged old man's eyes blazed blood red. He licked his grotesque long tongue along the black staff, cackling. Kakeke, think dodging one move makes you safe? Dream on. My bone-devouring myriad sounds isn't so easily evaded. Suddenly, behind Baiken, ominous purple mist rose, accompanied by a chilling hiss. Explode for me. Baiken's throat tightened, body shuddering. Cold sweat beaded on his forehead. The dense purple mist, like a toxic swamp, invaded moment by moment, clouding his mind in chaos. The old demon closed his eyes in glee, lips curling like a hissing dragon. Whether you're a perfected acquired martial artist or an innate realm master, once tainted by bone-devouring myriad sounds, the end is the same, utter destruction. This evil chi, a blend of 8 parts yin and 2 parts neurotoxin, paralyzes the mind, then slowly erodes flesh, sinews, and soul. After that chilling declaration, Baiken stepped from the mist, clothes tattered, body dust covered, but eyes blazing with resolve. Is that so? He crossed his arms, voice deep as a stone in an abyss. Dangerous. Indeed, but sadly, not enough to fell me. The old birdman's face twisted, sweat pouring like rain. Why are you unscathed? Baiken shrugged, smirking mockingly. I'm wondering that myself. Behind him, countless shadowy hands appeared, brimming with yin chi, forming seals and unleashing yin chi bullet. Myriad purple orbs shot toward the old birdman, who let out a hoarse scream, panic undisguised. Simultaneously, he unleashed a sonic shockwave, his species' signature, muttering, impossible, a mortal who self-mastered yin chi without a teacher. In a flash, he cast sonic shield, a surging sound barrier blocking each strike. Baiken's orbs hit the shield, sending shockwaves rippling through the hall. Not done yet, Baiken growled, both hands gathered energy, forming a new technique, radiant yin chi bullet art. These yin chi orbs no longer flew normally but darted like lightning, leaving sharp trails piercing space, making the foe pale, sweat gushing. In an instant, they pierced the old man's body. He screamed, black, foul liquid pouring from him, a sign of his inner barrier collapsing. Vitality fading. Seeing his foe weaken, Baiken seized the chance. He gripped his blade's hilt, muttering, strike while they're down. Take their life. With that, he charged like a lightning bolt tearing the sky. His blade swung relentlessly, each slash carrying fierce power. He named each move like a blood oath: Void Blade, Imperial Extreme Blade Path, Hell Severing Hand, Long Earth Blade. Each strike roared like thunder shaking the heavens. Mid-technique, he grinned, turning to his foe. Can't help it. I shout move names for flair. Old bird, what do you think of my cool names? Epic, right? Before a reply, the old man took a thunderous blade strike. He wailed, eyes panicked, damnable, gnashing his teeth, eyes bloodshot. He roared like a fiend. A lowly mortal dares touch the forbidden realm of yin chi? Keep dreaming. With that, he unleashed his ultimate move, Great Wailing Yin Poison. His massive wings flapped, sending relentless demonic sound waves. Baiken, sensing its force, paled. This yin qi, so dense. Nearby, Chi was hit by the sound waves. Body trembling violently, he screamed, voice shaking. No, impossible. Lord Wanwan, save me. Thick mist enveloped him, his body fading as if dissolving into nothingness. Voice dwindling. Save me. The old bird raised his black staff high, roaring. Proud yin armor. Instantly, dark yin qi armor enveloped him, boosting defense and attack, yet he knew, this technique had dire consequences. He lowered the staff to chest level, condensing demonic qi around him, muttering. This state lasts 60 breaths at most. Must end this quick. He charged Baiken, staff aimed at his face. Demonic qi surging with thunderous wing flaps. Like a beast awakening, yet Baiken stood firm in the void. Poised, hands on hips, pointing 2 fingers. Demon, by wielding such vast yin qi, you've already lost. He focused all his energy, forming a vortex at the staff's tip. The old man roared, eyes blazing. Get lost. Die. But as Baiken struck, the old bird froze, sweat pouring, mouth agape. No, there's still 56 breaths left. In that moment, black, sinister qi erupted from his body, eyes clouding into bottomless pits. He was spiraling into chaos beyond his control. Baiken spun, hands forming seals like flowing clouds, unleashing his supreme art, divine solidification. The old demon was swept into a fierce spiritual vortex. Like a soul-burning storm, he screamed, unable to escape. Baiken coldly declared, I've fully controlled your yin qi. With my heavenly yang body, I wield ultimate power over all yin-based artifacts. Your fate is sealed. On the ash-covered warship deck, Baiken extended his hand, palm glowing, absorbing the remaining essence from the bird demon's bones. The essence condensed into a faintly glowing orb, the demon core. Baiken muttered, is this what the threefold cultivation queries mentioned? When a demon reaches late golden core, its core becomes a demon pill, unlocking innate divine abilities. Glancing back, he ordered, gather all the bones in one place. Burn them with peach wood, the strongest yang energy. Use no other wood. The disciples chorused, yes, master. Near the anchored warship, a black crow circled, its dark eyes reflecting a fox's illusion, the hidden demon. After the battle, Baiken said nothing more, lightly leaping away. Less than a quarter hour after he left, the crow dove toward the ship like an arrow. Seeing the demon bird land, a white-robed cultivator gasped in shock. He frantically swung a broom like a weapon, shouting, Scram, what ill omen is this? But before he could act, the crow turned into smoke. Diving into his mouth, he screamed, sweat gushing like a sprain. Trembling, he dropped the broom, one knee collapsing to the floor. The crowd around him frantically asked, Hu Lai, are you all right? He bowed his head, eyes tightly shut, lips forcing a strained smile. No, I'm fine, just a bit tired. Then, with a stern voice, he ordered, if all's well, get back to work. But upon opening his eyes, his gaze pierced toward the horizon, where Bei Chen was flying to a mysterious distant tower. Could there be another force besides the Heavens Mandate organization eyeing this place? In an instant, Bei Chen landed before Ming Guangjian, Xiao Qian, old eunuch, and a surviving soldier. He calmly said, all the ghost creatures of Nuo Kaiyi have been eradicated. They won't return. Seeing Bei Chen appear, Ming Guangjian hurriedly stepped forward, clasping his hands in respectful salute. Many thanks, venerable master. Your life-saving grace is etched in my heart. Suddenly, Xiao Qian's voice sharpened, her eyes blazing as she pointed at Bei Chen and shouted, Your Majesty, it's him. He's the flower-picking bandit who once wrought havoc. Hearing this, Bei Chen's face slightly reddened. He raised a hand to cover his mouth, feigning a cough with awkward finesse. Ahem. In truth, I am from the Three Immortals Island, sent by my sect to exterminate demons. Our sect's treasure detected anomalies in this minor world, so I was ordered to descend and subdue evil. After speaking, Bei Chen's mind flashed back to the chaotic teleportation that day. Unfortunately, a deviation occurred during the formation's activation, causing me to land in the wrong place, leading to a misunderstanding with this lady constable. Luckily, I had a contingency plan, he thought, a slight smirk curling his lips. Hearing the explanation, Ming Guangjian pondered deeply. The path to immortality is not to be trifled with. With someone like Ji Beichen, I must not offend him. Turning to Xiao Qian, the emperor softened his tone. If it was a misunderstanding, Chief Constable, you should apologize to the venerable master to clear past grievances. Xiao Qian lowered her head, her voice soft as willow silk. I offended you earlier, please forgive me. Venerable master. Bei Chen gave a gentle smile, responding in a calm tone. A trivial matter. As the ancients said, no fight, no familiarity. Inwardly, he chuckled, head squeezed, mouth doused with water. It seems, someone's heart has already stirred with new thoughts. Ming Guangjian beamed like a child receiving a gift, his face alight with joy. Venerable master, are there still hidden demonic threats in our great Ming? If evil resurfaces and you can't act in time, what shall I do? If only I could cultivate an immortal body like you. Don't you agree? At this, Bei Chen narrowed his eyes, his gaze cold as ice. As expected, even an emperor ultimately dreams of immortality, clinging to the throne forever. After a moment's thought, Bei Chen flicked his lips with a slight smirk. If that's the case, then, before he could finish, his figure blurred into a wisp of shadow. Vanishing into the void, the soldier nearby gaped, stammering, he's gone? Meanwhile, Ming Guangjian burst into excited laughter. Haha, truly the demeanor of an immortal. There's hope for immortality, real hope. In the silent system space, Shou Gong sat quietly reading an ancient book. Moments later, Bei Chen appeared, his eyes grave. We must shatter that little emperor's fantasies at once. Otherwise, he'll keep chasing pipe dreams, becoming insufferable. Hearing the complaint, Shou Gong, behind a misty veil, gave a faint smile and tilted his head. Welcome back, host. Seems you've run into trouble? Bei Chen crossed his arms, his face wrinkled like an oversteamed bun. Met a little emperor daydreaming in broad daylight. He fantasizes about achieving eternal life. If it were you, how would you crush such a ludicrous dream? Shou Gong glanced over casually, chin resting on his hand, his voice light as a breeze. Typically, one who ascends the throne loses the right to enter the path of immortality. If host wishes to make him abandon his delusions, you might consider the universal system's gotcha machine. Bei Chen shot a skeptical glance at the round machine, turning away with a sigh. That thing, it's clearly designed to trick me into wasting my lucky draws. Grumbling, he still reached for the knob, muttering, spin 10 times at once, maybe I'll get something useful. Instantly, the first 4 orbs dropped, all empty. Not a promising start, but the next 3 brought some hope. A bottle of fasting pills, allowing 3 days without food. A bottle of mortal-grade detox pills, curing all mundane poisons, and a bottle of body-breaking pills, enhancing physique and marrow for chi-refining cultivators. The next orb was a blue talent crystal ball, used to detect hidden spiritual roots in the body. The following orb glowed purple, epic tier. Inside was the Green Lotus Sword Song. Volume 1, Part 1, a renowned technique of the Green Lotus Sword Immortal. Gotcha tiers. Gray, common. Blue, rare. Purple, epic. Orange, legendary. Finally, as if heaven bestowed luck, a legendary tier orb landed in Bei Chen's palm. He grinned radiantly, as if hitting the jackpot. Not only did I get something to deal with that emperor, but I also scored a rare treasure. Today's luck, it's heaven-defying. When used, speaking a single sentence to the target would plunge them into extreme fear, with the effect reusable every 3 days. Moments later, Bei Chen reappeared before Ming Guangjian, Xiao Qian, the old eunuch, and a soldier. He calmly placed the crystal ball on the table and said leisurely, "This is a talent crystal ball, borrowed from my sect. If it glows, it proves one has the potential to tread the path of immortality." Hearing this, Ming Guangjian's forehead beaded with sweat, his lips curling into an odd smile as he eagerly grasped the orb, muttering, "The moment to ascend has come." However, when his hands touched the crystal, its surface remained dull, not emitting the slightest glow. Bei Chen raised an eyebrow. stating nonchalantly, "It seems your majesty lacks a heaven-given spiritual root." As the words landed, Ming Guangjian's eyes widened, his mouth agape enough to fit a duck egg, staring at the orb as if willing light to appear. "Impossible. I, head of the Five Gates sect, lack a spiritual root? Is your orb broken? Are you mocking me?" Gripped by fear of being barred from the immortal world, he frantically grabbed Bei Chen's wrist. Speaking rapidly, folktales say immortals can alter mortal fates. If you're an immortal's heir, your master must be a true immortal. Summon him, I'll reward him richly. Bei Chen didn't hide his irritation, glancing at Ming Guangjian with half an eye before yanking his hand free. Coldly saying, "No means no, heaven's will is set. Stop struggling in vain, Emperor Ming." With that, he pressed a hand to his chest. A surge of spiritual energy flaring, his aura surging fiercely. "If your majesty has no shame, let me teach you some manners." Hearing this, Ming Guangjian's face turned ashen, sweat dripping, stammering like a stranded fish, unable to speak. At that moment, a line of text appeared before Bei Chen's eyes. Suitable bonding target detected. Ni Xiao Qian. Mission assigned. Form a bond within 3 months. Reward: 50 gotcha spins. Failure: host's death. What? Actual death? Closing the system interface, Bei Chen glanced at Xiao Qian and said firmly, "Miss Ni, we need to talk. Follow me." With that, his figure soared away on the wind. The old eunuch beside Xiao Qian softly urged, "Since the venerable master summons you, go. Leave Emperor Ming to old servant and General Xun Wen." Ming Guangjian gritted his teeth, fists clenched until veins bulged, spitting out 2 words with venom. "Gu Bei Chen." The scene shifted to a tranquil manor, where ancient buildings stood under a somber sky. Bei Chen stood with arms crossed, as if awaiting a familiar guest. Seeing Xiao Qian appear, his eyes flicked over her, his oppressive aura like rolling thunder, shaking the air. He spoke calmly, "Miss Ni, do you truly wish to step onto the path of cultivation?" Bei Chen's words made Xiao Qian freeze, standing still as stone, her eyes shimmering with doubt. The man casually tapped his chin, his voice deep as an ancient bell. "What, you don't agree? Why hesitate so long?" Xiao Qian's face hardened, replying without hesitation, "HMPH, I don't trust your words." The flower-picking bandit case in Huruo City remains unsolved. Bei Chen's gaze was steady, his expression unmoved. "No need for such wariness. In a moment, I'll show you the true culprit. Moreover, my invitation is sincere." With that, he pulled out a transparent orb and tossed it to Xiao Qian. "Take it. This is a treasure to test cultivation aptitude." As her hand touched the orb, blue-green light swirled around it, the glow constantly shifting. The sight startled her, causing her to drop the orb. "What sorcery is this?" Bei Chen darted forward like lightning, catching the orb midair, his eyes gleaming like stars. "Wind spiritual root. Congratulations." Xiao Qian was speechless with shock, stammering, I can really cultivate immortality?" Bei Chen grinned mischievously, saliva nearly dripping from his mouth, hands twitching as if dancing. "Exactly. Girls like you who form a pact with me will surely become true immortal cultivators." The scene shifts to a dense forest, flocks of hawks soaring across the sky. Below, a group gathers around a flickering bonfire. Suddenly, amidst the blazing flames, a skull appears, its mouth spewing black fire that silently siphons the souls of the surrounding youths. The more it consumes, the larger the flames grow, burning fiercely as if alive. Within the black blaze, Kai Yi's silhouette gradually emerges, stepping out from the sea of fire. At that moment, a low voice sounds from behind him. "Your failure stems from your weak subordinates. If that one hadn't been defeated earlier, I'd have led my clan to seize the great Ming royal bloodline." Hearing this, Kai Yi whips his head around, eyes sharp as blades, growling, "The fragment you want, I've long sent men to search for it. If you'd sent stronger forces, would today's outcome be like this? It's all your fault." As he finishes, a towering pressure erupts from the white-robed figure, divine foxes materializing amidst waves of spiritual energy. He says calmly, "Don't get heated, this failure isn't significant." His gaze pierces Kai Yi, continuing, "High-tier demons can't cross this space now. though ancient times had spiritual tides strong enough for golden core stages. Today's spiritual energy is depleted, barely sustaining foundation establishment. With that, he raises 2 fingers, conjuring a fierce whirlwind that scatters leaves chaotically. Let's go. I'll take you to meet your future ally. Kai Yi's face wrinkles like raw dough, glaring at the figure and hissing. Awakening someone else? Planning to turn another into a ghost woman? The raging whirlwind grows fiercer, enveloping both figures as if lifting them off the ground. The white-robed man says calmly, "No, this one is alive." As his voice fades, both figures dissolve into the air. The voice echoes, "Moreover, it's someone you know very well." The scene shifts to a steamy bath chamber. Xiao Qian soaks in the water, thick vapor cloaking the space like a dreamscape. Her face flushes, sweat beading on her forehead. From beyond the door, Bei Chen's voice calls, "Xiao Qian, your inherited wind-body cloud technique is actually an incomplete ancient cultivation method." As he speaks, he sits cross-legged at a wooden table, eyes fixed on an ancient book. It seems this continent once had true cultivators in ancient times. At this, he rises slowly, his gaze somber. "I fear Shou Gong has hidden too many secrets from me." Lost in thought, he suddenly glances toward the bath. A notion strikes him. They call me a lecher. And I protest. Sensing his suggestive gaze, Xiao Qian lets out a shriek and dives deeper into the water. Like a small fish escaping a giant net, Bei Chen smirks, saying slowly, "I'll step out for a bit. While I'm gone, fuse the remaining half of the body-breaking pill in the tub and absorb the spiritual energy fully." Beneath the water, Xiao Qian blows bubbles, blub blub, as if signaling, "Got it, stop talking." In the warm water, she closes her eyes, her soft breaths echoing steadily through her lips. Unable to hold back, she bursts to the surface, gasping, "Is he really gone?" As the question escapes, she steps out of the tub, revealing long, smooth legs like polished wax. Muttering softly, "Cultivating alone like this risks chi deviation. Saying he didn't want to stay was just an excuse. Honestly, HMPH. Claiming he's not a lecher, despicable," she grumbles, her lips curling in defiance. She grabs a towel, wrapping it around herself, but her rounded horns remain half-hidden, unable to conceal her allure. Stepping out, her figure sways gracefully like a willow in the breeze. Her eyes suddenly fix on a plate on the table, and she leans closer. Her eyes light up at the sight of the delicacy. "Oh, isn't that the rare Gui Fanglan pastry? That wretched Gu Bei Chen snagged it? Fine, for this pastry, I'll consider you decent tonight." As she reaches for it, another hand snatches the pastry first. None other than Gu Bei Chen. He gleefully pops it into his mouth while Xiao Qian gapes, eyes wide as if they'd pop out. After chewing, he gives a thumbs up, glancing at her with a cheeky grin. "Not my first time seeing you like this. But I'll say it late, you're truly stunning." With his praise spoken, Bei Chen's form dissipates like mist into the void, leaving Xiao Qian stunned, her face a mix of shock. Moments later, she clenches her fists, eyes blazing, cursing, "Shameless heretic, I'll have your head." The scene shifts to a grand mansion. At the gate, General Xun Wen and old eunuch Nguyen Trung stand vigilantly on guard. Inside the hall, Ming Guangjian rages, his aura flaring. He slams the table, shattering teacups, roaring, "Dare to humiliate me? Gu Bei Chen, I'll have your head." His eyes bloodshot, he grinds his teeth, tearing a book to shreds, bellowing, "And that knee Xiao Qian, I'll have the embroidered guards drag her back, interrogate everything she got from Gu Bei Chen, then tear her apart by 5 horses. One day, I'll..." Before finishing, he clutches his head, groaning, face contorted, sweat pouring as pain overwhelms him. At that moment, the hall doors burst open. A surge of spiritual energy floods in like crashing waves, carrying 2 figures into the blinding light, chanting strange herbs, Chuan Shang, Bai Ji, Bai Xiao, Tian Ma, Dang Gui. Nuo Kaiyi and the white-robed man gradually appear. Both stare at Ming Guangjian. The white-robed man says coolly, "Seems our emperor is suffering his old headache again." Ming Guangjian, clinging to the table, one eye open, cries in panic, Who's there?" "Xun Wen, Nguyen Trung, protect me." But outside, Both Nguyen Trung and Xuan Wen lie unconscious. The white-robed man continues coldly. No need to shout. Your guards' minds are sealed. Nuo Kai Yi steps forward. His voice like thunder. This mortal again? I'd rather possess him. Ming Guang Jian, pale as death, stammers. Nuo Kai Yi? Weren't you dead? As if stirred by vicious memories. Kai Yi's eyes blaze red like embers. Baring his teeth in a murderous sneer, his upper body suddenly stretches. Warped by eerie magic, lunging toward Ming Guang Jian. Roaring. Yes, I died, perished in a sea of dark yin energy. My body consumed by demonic qi. But now, I'm back. Ming Guang Jian, in utter panic, collapses, screaming in despair. His hands shield his face. Body trembling, sweat pouring like a deluge. Suddenly, a clap echoes, followed by swirling spiritual energy. A calm voice says, "Enough." Nuo Kai Yi. The spiritual energy binds Kai Yi, forcing him back. He glares with resentful eyes as he's pulled. His form returns to normal. No longer warped, the white-robed man holds a glowing blue gem, saying, "Don't scare our partner too much. Emperor Ming, now, what's your stance?" Ming Guang Jian, trembling, steadies himself, his voice hoarse but firm. "If I seek immortality, what can I gain?" The white-robed man's eyes glinted like frost, staring at Ming Guang Jian, his tone cold yet commanding. "No issue. Unlike Ji Yu Bei Chen, I can grant you that qualification now." With those words, he struck Kai Yi's back with a palm, infusing dark energy. "Time to prove your worth. Go." Pushed forward, Kai Yi transformed into a black shadow, hurtling toward Ming Guang Jian. The emperor, sweating in panic, roared in fury, "Filthy wretch, you dared deceive me?" Before he finished, Kai Yi's body slammed into him, causing Ming Guang Jian to grit his teeth in agony. Trembling violently, immediately, a towering surge of energy erupted from both. Spreading outward, they screamed amidst the terrifying spiritual pressure. The white-robed man's voice boomed like divine decree. "Once this secret art completes, you'll merge as one. Ming Guang Jian, you'll become the one to revive the ancestral spiritual root from the era of spiritual tides." In a separate system space, Bei Chen lounged on a sofa, hands propping his chin, gazing thoughtfully at Shou Gong. "Spiritual tides? What's that?" Shou Gong replied calmly, "Every 1,000 years, a spiritual tide sweeps this world, ushering in a 2-century era of cultivation. When those 200 years end, spiritual energy dissipates, and the world regresses to the martial era. You're now in the new era of the next spiritual tide." Bei Chen's gaze remained profound, his voice low. "One thing's unclear. Why did the system suddenly issue an assassination mission within 3 months?" The system answered promptly, "Because your time in this world is limited to 3 months. If you don't reach the required strength to return to the main world, you'll fall to Hong Shu, suffering until death. This is the final mission, your last shot. If you fail, the system, guarantee you'll die painlessly. So, grow stronger." Host. Hearing this, Bei Chen stood slowly, head lowered, his resolute voice striking like hammer on stone. "I understand." In Bei Chen's mind, images of Shao Qian flashed, her growing warmth signaling progress in their bond. "To survive, I must forge a fated bond with her, making her love me wholly until life's end," he vowed, as if carving it into stone. The scene shifts to Huyao City at dawn. Sunlight weaves golden threads across the land, warming all in its glow. In a small room, Shao Qian stirs from sleep, blinking lazily, catching Ji Yu Bei Chen's silhouette by the window. She bolts upright, still groggy, her voice stern. "Hey, what are you sneaking around for?" Bei Chen turns, holding a tray of food, smiling faintly. "So you're awake?" On the wooden table, an array of steaming breakfast dishes. He says casually, "Not knowing your taste, I bought every morning dish available." Shao Qian sits up in bed, cheeks flushed, clutching a towel to cover herself, murmuring, "You actually care." Suddenly, her money pouch zips past her face like a wayward bird. Her eyes sharpen, and she steps to the floor. With the air of a grand inquisitor, she grabs the pouch, teeth clenched, demanding, "Ji Yu Bei Chen, care to explain where my money went?" Unfazed, Bei Chen munches a dumpling, saying coolly, "Oh, I didn't have enough for the food. So I borrowed a bit from your pouch. Don't worry. After eating, I'll get silver from the Shen family to repay you. His words pour oil on fire. Xiao Qian's face turns purple. Eyes shooting daggers. Lips trembling. You call this a bit? She lets out an earth-shaking scream. Gu Bei Chen. Take my sword. He grins, dodging, saying, calm down, Xiao Qian. The ancients said, beauties use words, not blades. The scene shifts to a remote cave. Bei Chen channels powerful spiritual energy. His voice resonant. Xiao Qian, prepare. Let's see the results of your month-long training. He raises a hand, shouting, Yin Qi bullet art. Countless Yin Qi bullets shoot from his hand. They rush like a tempest. But Xiao Qian stands still, eyes closed, as if surrendering to fate. Suddenly, her eyes snap open, pupils blazing red, aura exploding, wind body. A terrifying whirlwind erupts from her, clashing fiercely with the oncoming Yin Qi bullets. Witnessing this, Bei Chen beams with joy. Good, excellent, you've finally succeeded. A month of grueling training restored your wind body. The ultimate technique of your inherited wind body cloud art. Plus, her affection for me is near its peak. Truly a double blessing. Bei Chen glances back, his gaze soft on Xiao Qian. With your wind body fully restored, we should leave. She lowers her head, replying softly, yes, master. Together, they stride out of the cave, the light outside heralding a new journey. In another dim cave, wisps of white mist drift in, cloaking the space in hazy fog. Ming Guangjian appears, Kai Yi's resentful face now etched on his chest, a mark of their bizarre fusion ritual. The old eunuch and General Xun Wen kneel, saying, we greet your majesty's emergence. Hand on hip, Ming Guangjian frowns, demanding, a month has passed. Have you found it? Kai Yi's face on his chest snarls. The thing that woman seeks. The two vassals, pale and weary, stammer, your majesty, in Jinling City, we found it. But many lives were lost. From behind a rock, a hoarse voice echoes, what you wanted is found. Now deliver your promise. He steps out, hands behind back, revealing a swaying foxtail. His cold voice continues, after it's nurtured, I'll give it to you. Kai Yi's face darkens, hissing in frustration, with your power, who in this world dares stop you? Why use us? The fox replies quietly, as if to his own shadow. I'm a termite in wood. If I act openly, I'll be crushed. But you're different. His eyes bore into them, each word like a driven nail. You bear the mark of heaven's mandate. That's why I need you to act. Ming Guangjian's eyes light up with conviction, exclaiming, so that's it. Hear that? We carry heaven's mandate. The fused pair exchange glances, then burst into triumphant laughter. Ha ha, chosen by heaven's mandate, we'll grow ever stronger. The scene shifts to a coastal region, drizzle falling like silk, the rocky ground arranged in a blooming flower pattern, the site of the heaven's mandate meeting. Each stone bears a carved spirit beast, representing the ancient faction leaders seated atop. Qing Chu, on the fox-carved stone, speaks, we've finally found the first soul fragment of the god. Beside him, a girl on a rabbit-carved stone beams brightly. Wonderful. After years of searching, I've secured the first piece. She is Fang Ri Tuo, also called Moon Rabbit. On another stone, a golden-haired youth stands, his tone firm. Don't be complacent. Only when the fragment is safely returned is it truly over. He is Ju Mu, known as Ying Mu. Qing Chu glances at him, lips curving in a faint smile. Got it, I'll be cautious. The scene changes. The sound of galloping hooves pounds like war drums, echoing through a misty expanse. Xiao Qian and Bei Chen ride side by side, halting before the gates of Lang City. A gray, eerily silent ancient fortress. The lithe maiden leans over, her sharp gaze fixed on him. Master, why have we suddenly come to Jinling City? Bei Chen forces a faint smile, his tone calm. My sect sent an urgent message about dense evil qi gathering here, signaling a major event. I was dispatched to investigate. Inwardly, he muses, could I admit this is a bizarre mission from the system? They lead their horses into the city. The chilling scene, desolate streets, pervasive yin qi, not a soul in sight, makes Xiao Qian exclaim. It's unnaturally quiet, as if time forgot this place. Suddenly, a crimson-clawed hand, sharp as a blade, emerges silently from the shadows behind them. Bei Chen instantly alerts, his eyes flashing like lightning. Trouble, something surrounding us. At that moment, two grotesque creatures with twisted forms materialize from the dark mist, stalking their every step. Sensing the eerie aura, both spin around, confronted by the sinister, alien faces of the demonic beings. Xiao Qian's eyes widen, mouth agape in horror. Heavens, aren't these Zung corpses? One creature lunges, unleashing a powerful chi strike at Bei Chen. He leaps high, dodging, muttering, "What kind of Zung corpse? Moonlit zombie? Bio-dead? Or walking meat slab?" The other swings thorny tentacles like serpentine roots at Xiao Qian. She draws her sword in panic. Blocking mid-air, her face hardens, eyes blazing with fury, shouting, "Foul thing, get out of my sight!" Gale slash. A torrent of blade-like sword chi rains down, shredding the demon into tattered pieces. Gazing at the mangled remains, Xiao Qian sighs in relief. Chopped into 7 or 8 pieces, it can't survive that. But suddenly, the flesh quivers, coming alive, reassembling at a terrifying speed. She freezes, sweat pouring. What is this? The demon springs up, roaring like a beast, and kicks Xiao Qian back, sending her flying like a leaf in a whirlwind. Mid-fall, she glimpses claws hurtling toward her like deadly spears. It can resurrect? Bei Chen turns, his expression grave. Her sword, enhanced with wind spiritual force, couldn't kill it? Have Zung corpses evolved this far? Let's try this then. He forms a seal with 2 fingers, condensing spiritual energy into a tight vortex, unleashing a potent yin chi bullet at the foe. The strike pierces the demon's head and shoulder. Yet it stands unfazed, wounds closing as if they never existed. Witnessing the horrifying sight, Bei Chen frowns, whispering, "Even yin chi bullets are useless. Hitting the brain does nothing." The demon, wounds healed, extends grotesque hands with razor claws and thorny tentacles, charging at Bei Chen like a frenzied beast. In a flash, it unleashes a lethal blow, shaking the earth, dust clouding the air. Bei Chen darts skyward like lightning, dodging spectacularly. He thinks, could these creatures truly have immortal bodies? A spark of memory flares, recalling the yin chi bullet piercing the enemy's head without destroying it. He muses, "No, when I struck its head, it jerked upward abruptly, instinctively protecting a specific spot. That wasn't random. Could that be the key?" Seizing the moment, Bei Chen spins, his voice booming like a bronze bell. "I've got it, Xiao Qian. Quick, strike the tentacle on their foreheads. That's the fatal point." Instantly, countless phantom hands manifest from Bei Chen's spiritual energy. His intent clear. Destroy the forehead tentacle. The phantoms morph into a barrage of yin chi bullets, all targeting the demon's forehead. With a deafening explosion, its head shatters, and its body collapses. This time, no resurrection. It's dead, utterly annihilated. Seeing this, Xiao Qian's eyes light up, exclaiming, "So that's it, I understand." Without hesitation, she leaps at the remaining enemy, shouting, "Gale slash, variant form, humble chi net." She descends like a tempest, her sword chi tearing the demon's body into 100 fragments. Yet, some intact pieces wriggle, as if attempting to regenerate. Unrelenting, Xiao Qian raises her hand, spiritual energy surging into a condensed blast. "Freakish thing, take this, wind-breaking palm." As her words land, the palm strike obliterates the flesh fragments. A thunderous explosion scatters them into nothingness. Having dispatched both monsters, Bei Chen says gravely, "Xiao Qian, let's move. We must reach the city center." "Yes," she replies crisply. Under a full moon casting cold silver light, they advance toward Jinling City's core, where evil qi grows denser. Upon arriving, a grotesque figure blocks the road, like a nightmare incarnate. Ming Guangjian sneers coldly. "Gu Bei Chen, Ni Xiao Qian, you've finally arrived. I've waited long for you." Behind him, 2 human heads, Xuan Wen and Wen Trung, protrude from the massive demon's writhing, fleshy form, their bodies consumed. The figure before them, eyes glinting with eerie malice, smiles chillingly. "Just you 2 more, and my grand ambition will be complete." Xiao Qian and Bei Chen lock eyes on Ming Guangjian, standing beside the still squirming monstrosity. Xiao Qian gasps, eyes wide in shock. Why are you here? Bei Chen steps back, shielding her, his voice low. Careful, he's heavily corrupted by demonic qi, he's fallen to the demonic path. Ming Guangjian laughs eerily, his voice morphing into something inhuman. Bei Chen, you don't understand. I don't care if I'm man or demon. I only want one thing: immortality. I saw my father, not yet 50, hair white, collapse, and never rise. That image is a blade in my heart. He advances, voice haunted. From that moment, I swore I wouldn't die like him. I'd live forever. Now, I've touched that dream, and you too will be the final sacrifices to build my eternal empire, crowning me the immortal emperor. Die. Before he finishes, Bei Chen reacts, shoving Xiao Qian away from the epicenter of the demonic force. Ming Guangjian charges like a fiend, his fist, imbued with earth-shattering demonic power, unleashing an explosion that scatters stone debris. As the dust clears, Ming Guangjian stands revealed, eyes blood red, demonic qi blazing. Not bad, dodging my strike with a mere gesture. Then, a horrifying sight, from Ming Guangjian's chest. Nuo Kaiyi's form emerges, his voice echoing from the underworld. Yes, that's right, Ming Guangjian. Bei Chen and Xiao Qian pale, eyes wide in horror, crying out, Nuo Kaiyi? You're still alive? The figure sneers arrogantly. Of course I'm alive. If I weren't, how could I repay this painful debt to you? 100-fold? 1,000-fold? Like arrows, both charge at Bei Chen and Xiao Qian. Bei Chen says gravely, leave Xiao Qian to me. You, deal with your former subordinate. Her reply is curt. Got it. Ming Guangjian, with a grotesque arm like ghostly roots, slashes fiercely at Xiao Qian. She raises her sword, blocking the thunderous strike. Before she can catch her breath, he unleashes black magnetic field, a surging force. Xiao Qian grits her teeth, her sword halting the eerie wave. A thought flashes in her mind, too strong. In less than 2 months, Ming Guangjian's power rivals mine. Green liquid drips from her blade, each drop hissing on the ground, white smoke rising like acid on flesh. As the dust clears, Guangjian's icy gaze pierces Xiao Qian. Can't even block one move. Ni Xiao Qian? Or did Bei Chen fail to teach you anything worthwhile? His lips curl into a sinister smile, thinking, allying with Heart Moon Fox was wise. 1 month surpassed Ni Xiao Qian's 20 years of grueling training. Ni Xiao Qian, once an innate martial artist, now a cultivator, has stepped into the first stage of foundation establishment. Ming Guangjian, fused with demonic essence, is now a ghost cultivator at early foundation establishment. His power dark as hell's abyss. Furious, Xiao Qian frowns, snapping her fingers to summon a talisman, shouting like thunder, you begged to witness it, so I'll grant your wish. Swift as the law commands. Recalling her training, Bei Chen once told her, your wind body cloud art is a fragment of an ancient cultivation method. Your body's qi has transformed into spiritual energy. You've entered the path. Next, I'll teach you some techniques. She eagerly asked, flying swords? Or dazzling, powerful spells? Bei Chen didn't answer immediately, raising a talisman calmly. No, it's the path of talismans, drawn from Fu Zai's inquiry in the cultivation canon. While explaining, he burned a talisman in his palm, saying gravely, this talisman path doesn't just summon wind and rain. Its brilliance lies in casting speed. Easy to learn, hard to master, but half a month can get you started. With insight, you could even set up formations alone. Back in the present, Xiao Qian raises her sword, channeling the Thunder Axe sword charm. A radiant energy sphere forms, unleashing countless dazzling spiritual beams. Seeing the spectacle, her foe pales, sweat pouring, eyes wide in strangled panic. Before he can react, hundreds of lightning bolts strike like divine judgment, shattering the ground beneath Xiao Qian's attack. As the final bolt fades, his face bleeds, body battered, he smirks, feigning calm. Thunder arts? Mildly amusing. He swings his grotesque arm again, face twisted like a demon. But the strike's power is visibly weaker. lacking pressure. Roaring, Han Dynasty Ghost Tide. He summons Flame Dragon Twin Hands. Two ferocious dragons charging at Xiao Qian to devour her. Facing the deadly strike, Xiao Qian freezes, sweat beading, eyes wide in a daze. The dragons collide with her, unleashing an earth-shaking explosion. Dust rising in towering pillars. Nuo Kai Yi grins wickedly at the blast, swinging a ghostly hand at Bei Chen. Voice thundering, Gu Bei Chen, your woman's dead, don't grieve, you'll join her soon. Bei Chen retorts sharply, think she's that easy to defeat? Worry about yourself. Nuo Kai Yi, the foe bellows, fine, take this. His ghostly arm summons 100 Ghosts Guard. Skulls rushing at Bei Chen like a zombie horde. Bei Chen casts 8 trigrams Yin Shield. Blocking the sinister strike, a sturdy grid forms, solid as a mountain fortress. His other hand draws 3 talismans. Shouting, I beseech the war god's descent. All bow to the fire god. Evil turns to ash, swift as the law commands. The 3 treasures fire charms ignite, forming 3 towering fire pillars that engulf Nuo Kai Yi in a raging inferno. Overwhelmed by Bei Chen, Nuo Kai Yi stumbles back. Seeing this, Guang Jian roars, Nuo Kai Yi, I'm coming to aid you. He charges toward the fray like an arrow loosed from a bow. Suddenly, a fierce whirlwind erupts behind him, spiraling into a massive vortex. A cold gust grazes his ear, a chill of dread halting him, eyes wide with suspicion. Turning, his mouth gapes, speechless. This is, fully facing back, he sees a massive fireball hurtling toward him, accompanied by a thunderous shout, Ming Guangjian, where do you think you're going? The fireball morphs into a firestorm, upheaving earth and stone with earth-shaking force. Ming Guangjian is blown back, narrowly dodging a fatal hit. As the tempest subsides, Xiao Qian's figure emerges from the misty smoke, gripping her sword, roaring, void wind body. Her icy gaze cuts forward, voice resonating with power. Ming Guangjian, this battle is just the beginning. She channels wind and cloud unite, spiritual energy gathering in her palm, shooting like a missile at her foe. Ming Guangjian raises his demonic arm to block, teeth grinding, muttering in frustration, damn it, how does someone keep standing like a legendary protagonist? He snarls, sweeping a strike to deflect her attack. Unfazed, Xiao Qian grips her sword, charging close, shouting, Ming Guangjian, face your punishment. Her face cold as frost. She unleashes a barrage of ultimate techniques, giving him no chance to breathe. With wind sweeps cloud remnants, she sends sharp chi at Ming Guangjian. He dodges swiftly. Next, wind disperses clouds. He blocks with his demonic arm, his strength visibly waning. As she unleashes, wind rises. Clouds surge. He can't resist, blasted back by the fierce chi. While he staggers, her sword slices through the air, cutting his shoulder, blood spraying, his eyes wide in panic, giving him no respite. Xiao Qian delivers her final move. Wind and cloud myriad changes. This strike overwhelms Guangjian's defenses, hurling him back like a dry leaf in a storm. As her techniques conclude, she lands lightly. The dust clears, revealing Ming Guangjian crumpled on the ground, gravely wounded, breath faltering. Bei Chen surveys the scene, glancing at his foe, saying coldly, looks like he can't save you. Nuo Kai Yi grinds his teeth, voice seething, Gu Bei Chen, don't get cocky. Who dies by whose hand isn't settled yet. He raises both hands, chanting darkly, reverse refining nether, ghost body rebirth, demonic heart transforms life and death. Bei Chen, unfazed, plants his sword in the ground, laughing heartily. Ha, anyone can talk big, take my move. His hands form a seal, talismans ignite midair. 10-star array, turn calamity into war flames. From the talismans, countless weapons materialize, sharp sword light, dense spiritual rain, bone-like blade light, abyss deep imperial light, star-like spear light, ethereal hook light, and dreamy soul light, forming a cataclysmic battle array. Facing Bei Chen's war calamity, Nuo Kai Yi spreads his arms, opening a pitch-black spatial rift, sneering, this disaster thinks to threaten me? No need for me to act. Clansman, block it for me. Crossing his hands, countless grotesque demons pour from the dark portal. Like hellspawn rising. Ordered by Nuo Kai Yi, the demons charge Bei Chen, only to be mercilessly shattered by the talisman-summoned weapons. Reduced to dust. Seeing his minions annihilated, Nuo Kai Yi roars in fury. Impossible. They couldn't stop it? Bei Chen raises 2 fingers casually. Voice ironclad. Now to slaughter the mastermind. Think your vile demons scare me? All will be cleaved. Hearing this, Nuo Kai Yi bellows like a cornered beast. HMPH. I don't believe it. Before his roar fades, radiant weapons from the talisman array pierce his body. His agonized scream tearing the air. Across the battlefield, Ming Guangjian clutches his chest. Black ichor spilling from his mouth. Heart reeling. It's over. Nuo Kai Yi's gravely wounded. Fused as one. When one suffers, the other does too. Ming Guangjian is now a fish on the chopping block. Seizing the rare chance, Xiao Qian raises 2 fingers. Chanting, 7 stars, turn into war calamity. Talismans ignite, blazing fiercely, summoning a barrage of powerful artifacts crashing down like meteors. Ming Guangjian's eyes widen in panic. Unable to speak as deathly light engulfs him. In an instant, the artifacts pierce the demonic matter in his body, leaving him powerless. Simultaneously, Nuo Kai Yi collapses, body still. After defeating both foes, Xiao Qian turns to Bei Chen. Voice respectful. Master, what next? Bei Chen points. Burn that giant altar flesh mass. Suddenly, a voice echoes from an opening void. Wait, you can't destroy it. A woman steps out, fox ears perked. Aura seductive, Qing Chu, who once saved Nuo Kai Yi from his delusions. She smiles faintly. First meeting, brother Bei Chen, sister Xiao Qian, I'm Heart Moon Fox, or call me Qing Chu. Seeing her, Bei Chen shields Xiao Qian. Voice sharp, what's your true goal? I come from a distant world. My purpose in Tian Yuan is simple, to collect the remaining soul fragments of the heavenly god. Why awaken Nuo Yi? He had deep conflicts with the current Emperor Ming. Her voice calm as a lake. She continues, his body is the key to stirring the Emperor Dragon Qi dormant in Emperor Ming. I need that dual imperial qi to restore the ancient heavenly god's soul. Hearing Qing Chu's revelations, Bei Chen glares, pointing 2 fingers at his chest, demanding, this heavenly god you speak of, who is it? The supreme god? Buddha? Qing Chu lowers her head, voice somber as night wind. Long ago, there was a boundless dimensional world where light couldn't reach the end. That realm was ruled by a cruel deity. Its beings drowned in endless darkness. Stripped of hope and will to live. In their hearts, only despair remained, a bottomless abyss of pure despair. Then, another divine being appeared. We call them the heavenly god. They led the masses to rise, overthrowing the dark god's tyranny. But in the end, both heavenly god and evil god perished. Their supernatural souls shattered, scattering across dimensional worlds. Suddenly, Qing Chu's eyes blaze like rubies. Hand raised, voice icy. My true purpose, and that of the heavens' mandate, is to resurrect the new god. So, brother Bei Chen, which side do you choose? The merciful heavenly god or the wicked evil god? Bei Chen weighs her words carefully. Sensing her pressure surpasses even his initial clash with Hong Shu. He thinks, I mustn't act rashly. After a pause, he replies coolly, HMPH, I choose neither. Qing Chu turns slightly, waving lightly as if painting the breeze. Fine, I'll take it as you not opposing heaven's mandate for now. Her wave summons an eerie qi, swallowing Ming Guangjian and Nuo Kai Yi into the demon matter without resistance. She continues calmly, in that case, I won't pursue past unpleasantness. You, pretend you heard nothing. Turning, her robes ripple like water. Satisfied? She adds, like a fleeting breeze. By the way, though suppressed by Tian Yuan's world will, if I wish, I can unleash nascent soul-level power for a brief 10 seconds, enough to shift the tide. Suddenly, the grotesque mass slowly opens. Like an ancient creature awakening, fully parted, it reveals jagged, horrific teeth, spewing a crimson mist like boiling blood from hell. Xiao Qian and Bei Chen, witnessing this, can't hide their horror, eyes wide. What is that? Seeing their stunned reaction, even Ching Chu turns, her gaze hardening at the heaving, living demon mass. The scene shifts to a surreal realm, colossal structures veiled in pinkish mist. Like a divine domain in a boundless dream. Suddenly, Xiao Qian's face flushes, her shy voice rising. Master, without waiting, she rushes to hug Bei Chen tightly, seeking solace amid her chaotic emotions. At that moment, an indescribable sensation surges through Ching Chu, like waves of pleasure coursing through her veins. Her cheeks flush, eyes dreamy. Minnow. 3 days later, in a picturesque place, clear skies. A tranquil lake reflecting clouds like an ink painting. In a room, Bei Chen leans on a table, gazing at the virtual system, saying softly, "Thanks for timely removing Yin Yu. Without that, Xiao Qian and I wouldn't be here." The system, Shou Gong, appears in the interface, replying coldly, "Just a small help, don't expect it again." Suddenly, Ching Chu's image appears, she spins angrily, clutching her horns with flair, shouting, "You all, just wait for this lady." With that, she dives into the void like lightning, her form vanishing into the glowing screen. Shou Gong turns to Xiao Qian, lounging on the bed, its gaze seeming to log every detail of the moment. The scene shifts to two people entangled on a bed, the system interface displaying name, Ni Xiaochen, affection level 80, deep mutual understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses. Immediately after, another line appears. Name, Yin Yu, Heart Moon Fox, Green Hill, affection level 44, unrestrained feelings. Yet both aware of each other's merits and flaws. Looking at the stats, Bei Chen gives a wry smile. That fox exalts righteous divinity like a world-saving sun. But when her soul awakens, she spouts romantic words like a lovesick fool. Heavens, what sins did I commit in my past life for this absurd fate? Then he turns his gaze to the system. How many days until I leave? 40 days. Can I take Xiao Chen with me? Not yet, but don't worry, host. When you leave this world, I'll activate the time freeze mechanism for this realm. Hearing this, Bei Chen slams the table with a thud. Grinning broadly, not yet means it'll be possible later. Good, I don't want to be a heartless cat who abandons love. A while later, in another room, Bei Chen pushes the door open, his eyes softening. Seeing him, Xiao Chen shyly whispers, "Master, is it still proper to call you that?" Her question leaves her flustered, collapsing to the floor, face blank as if soulless. Bei Chen smiles, stepping closer to flick her forehead lightly. "Xiao Chen, given our current relationship, do you think we should change how you address me?" She scratches her head awkwardly, then timidly replies, "Then, how about Master Brother?" Before Xiao Chen's bashful face and sparkling eyes, Bei Chen is so moved he gets a nosebleed, his face turning utterly lovesick, like a man bewitched. 40 days later, at the capital's main gate, people in carts bustle, the scene lively as a festival. On a high mountain peak overlooking the majestic city, Bei Chen and Xiao Chen cling tightly. She looks up, whispering like a vow, "You must return, Master Brother." Bei Chen smiles gently, replying softly, "I'll be back soon." Xiao Chen's eyes brim with tears, nodding slightly, I'll wait, no matter how long." Suddenly, Bei Chen spins, leaping high, shouting, "Activate return." Confirmed departure from the heavenly origin world. A radiant screen envelops him, his figure fading from this realm. Xiao Chen stands silently watching, tears streaming like scattered pearls, glistening with sorrow on her smooth cheeks. In the system space, the Guardian raises a hand to its mouth, proclaiming, "By the authority of the guidance system, activate the time freeze mechanism." The heavenly origin world's time is frozen for 10 years. The next notification appears. Mission completed. Successfully bonded with Ni Xiao Chen. Title: Master Brother. Effect: activates Xiao Chen's abilities, enhanced spiritual power, swordsmanship comprehension, and wind attribute. Reward: 50 draw tickets. Bond with Yin Yu, conditionally successful. No special title. No ability activation. Reward: 20 draw tickets. No soul fragment obtained. Conclusion: failure, no penalty incurred. Afterward, Bei Chen approaches the Guardian, who's diligently writing, and curiously asks, "I have a question. Xiao Chen isn't a Saintess. So why does the Saintess system allow bonding? The Guardian writes 3 large characters, flower heart great radish. Then calmly replies. Though she's not a Saintess, she's a straight woman. Twirling the brush lightly, the Guardian explains coolly, to the system. Any woman uncommitted to a relationship can be deemed a Saintess. Bei Chen's face turns ashen. Eyes rolling. Playing with homophones like that? Are you trying to mess with me to death? Suddenly, his gaze sweeps to an unfamiliar floor-to-ceiling door that appeared out of nowhere. Wait, since when did this place have a window like this? Bei Chen exclaims in shock. Wow, where is this? His eyes quietly peer through the transparent glass, murmuring to himself. Is this the vast universe? Or am I standing before a time corridor? Hearing this, the Guardian responds evenly, voice mechanical yet ancient. You stand in the outer sea of the beyond. Through this sea, you can cross to any dimensional world, past, present, or future. Those floating orbs out there are world bubbles, each representing a distinct reality. Bei Chen stares at the boundless sea of time-space, eyes growing serious. I remember being dragged to the heavenly origin world by one bubble. To return to 9 continents. Must I cross this place too? And, why am I a host? Who'd eagerly volunteer for missions like this? Enjoy being pushed around? He bursts into a cheeky grin, winking playfully. Of course not. If I could choose, I'd step out invincible, winning without fighting. But for now, that's far off. The Guardian silently turns, its gaze fixed on Bei Chen. A faint orange orb's illusion, the true cultivation heart inquiry book from a prior draw, appearing behind it. The Guardian's piercing stare continues, as if seeing through Bei Chen's soul. Slightly unnerved, Bei Chen raises a hand, summoning a small whirlwind in his palm, saying, all right, next month I'll seriously test my abilities, from swordsmanship comprehension to enhanced wind attributes. Plus, the Green Lotus Sword Song, Volume 1 from the last draw. I'll train hard. At that moment, Bei Chen's personal info appears on the system interface, glowing in the misty space. Name: Gu Bei Chen. Realm: Foundation Establishment Peak. Combat Power: capable of facing Golden Core Cultivators. Bonds: Hongshu. Ni Xiao Chen. Yin Yu. Techniques: True Cultivation Heart Inquiry. Green Lotus Sword Song, Volume 1. Wind Body. Cloud Movement. Items: Body Breaking Pill. Fasting Pill. Mortal Grade Detox Pill. Talent Crystal Ball. Special Abilities: Heavenly Sound Poetry. Swordsmanship Comprehension. Wind Spiritual Power. Unique Skill: helps you become upright. A month later, the system guide stops before a softly glowing bubble in the outer sea. The Guardian's voice rings like a bell. We've arrived. This is the 9 continents world. Bei Chen's gaze pierces through layers of space, face puzzled, exclaiming, why is the 9 continents bubble so tiny? Not even 100 millionth of the smallest world I visited? The Guardian glances over, speaking slowly. The 9 continents you once inhabited is merely an artificial micro-universe. Created by Hongshu, a saint from the Salvation sect, using an innate treasure. Its essence is but a fragment of her. The true 9 continents realm, often called the 9 continents mainland, is a whole formed by 9 continents structured in an 8 trigrams formation. Not touching each other: Ji continent, Chong continent, Qing continent, Z continent, Yang continent, Jing continent, Yu continent, Liang continent, Yang continent. Each spans hundreds of billions of square kilometers. The cultivation system here mirrors the methods you received from Hongshu, starting with body forging. Then qi refining, absorbing spiritual energy to form consciousness. Foundation establishment, controlling flying swords. Golden core, condensing a core in the dantian for light flight. And nascent soul, shattering the core for ascension in an instant. Next is spirit transformation, attaining divine consciousness. Splitting into countless avatars. When avatars merge with the original body, it returns to its primal state. One step further is tribulation to become an immortal. To reach the true 9 continents realm, you must retrieve all of Hongshu's avatars. Bei Chen studies the 8 trigrams diagram on the ground, asking, can't the system take me directly to the true realm? The cold reply, it can. But the price, you can't bear now. Bei Chen slowly steps into the center of the 8 trigrams, nodding. Then I'll return to the false realm first. Preparing for the next journey. Green light radiates from the formation. Bei Chen clasps his hands, eyes blazing. Hong Shu, you seductive fox. This time I'll definitely draw more affection from you. Before finishing, his body turns into a beam, flashing like lightning, piercing the outer sea's space. In dazzling golden light, he lands in the false 9 continents, causing a shockwave like divine thunder. The sky in the divine healer's realm is clear as a mirror. Sunlight gently falling. 2 beams shoot down from the heavens. The first beam lands before a young woman, catching a glimpse of his silhouette. She tilts her head, eyes wide in disbelief. When Bei Chen turns, his face enters her view, and she laughs, grasping his hand tightly, like a flower blooming in morning mist. The second beam lands at a dilapidated house. Unnoticed by anyone, in a dilapidated hut, a young man sits dazed on a creaky bed, eyes vacant as if just waking from a dream, forehead drenched in sweat. He mutters in shock, "Is this real? Could I have transmigrated?" The divine healer world he's in lacks martial or immortal cultivation paths of familiar legends. People here train by channeling starlight from the Big Dipper to strengthen mental force. They use star stones, special artifacts, to store and manifest willpower, forming mystical battle armors ranked from low to high: cloth, bronze, silver, gold, and the legendary divine armor. Bei Chen raises an eyebrow, asking the guardian, "So, the divine healer world's heavenly law holds me here because fate destined me to be its savior?" The guardian glances coldly, more accurately, us. The reason is simple. This world once hosted a transmigrator. Its heavenly law aimed to use him and his system to boost its power. But both betrayed it, sacrificing this world for greater might. Thus, the divine healer's heavenly law exhausted its power to reverse time-space, pulling us here to fix the mess. But this help isn't free. Bei Chen's eyes widen, jaw-dropping. So the reward must be hefty? The guardian's face remains unchanged, enough to return you to the artificial 9 continents without fearing Hongshu's avatars. Bei Chen clenches his fists, eyes blazing with resolve. Fine. I'll, reluctantly, play savior, once to see how it goes. As he speaks, the guardian snaps its fingers, summoning a book that flies toward Bei Chen. Catching it, Bei Chen asks in surprise, "What's this? A divine technique manual?" The guardian replies calmly, "The full script, everything the transmigrator did in this world." Flipping a few pages, Bei Chen squints with a sly smile, with the script in hand. "It's easy. I'll pinpoint his starting point, then ambush him early." The guardian signals denial. "That won't work." Bei Chen frowns, confused. "Why not? Don't tell me he has some protagonist aura I must shatter first?" 65. Of course not. The real reason is, before the guardian finishes, the girl from earlier rushes in, screaming, face pale as a wilted leaf. "Lord Emissary, save us. Please, save us." Her voice trembles like falling dew. The great demon Han Zong has attacked this place. Bei Chen spins, pointing at the guardian, shouting, "Damn it, guardian, speak. Isn't this the divine healer palace?" I skimmed the script's index. This is clearly the finale. The book in his hand clearly states, Chapter 600. The divine healer palace appears. The guardian remains composed, pulling out 3 cards. "I never said the heavenly law brought us to the story's start." "You assumed that." Turning, she tosses the cards to Bei Chen with a faint smile. "Oh. Host, these are your privilege, or cheat, from the divine healer world's heavenly law. 3 invincibility uses. Keep them safe." Bei Chen snatches them, panicking. "Wait, you haven't explained how to use these." Before an answer comes, the guardian zips into the system interface, leaving Bei Chen flustered with 3 shimmering cards. Staring at the magical toys, he shuts his eyes, grinning crookedly. "I just want to know, how do these things work?" The system interface reappears, the guardian standing arms crossed at the console. Voice leisurely. The 3 cards represent Confucian, Wisdom, Buddhist, Speed, Taoist, Defense. Each lasts half an hour. A metal belt flies from the system, snapping onto Bei Chen's waist. Insert a card into the slot. Then shout, "Battle armor." Merge. That's it. Bei Chen's eyes gleam like he's struck gold. Grinning widely. Guardian, could this be what I'm thinking? The Guardian replies without a flicker. Yes. Host. Exactly what you're thinking. Now, what's your move? Without hesitation, Bei Chen fastens the belt. Gripping a card. Spiritual energy surging from his palm. This world needs a hero. He says gravely. He slots the card in. Shouting. Battle armor. Merge. Instantly, his eyes blaze red like flames igniting the night. The scene flashes. A young man kicks open a gate, sending bald thugs flying like leaves in a storm. Dust swirls. The bald men lie groaning, unable to rise. On a high rooftop, a young man with odd mustache like whiskers stands tall. The story pauses, flashing back, before an ancient monastery's gate. On a worn brick courtyard, a red-robed elder faces a young man, backed by bald men in black robes. Glaring at the youth, the elder roars, Zhang Han, do you know what you're doing? You're human, yet you collude with demons to harm your kind. This is the famed guardian, Gong Siyu Huang. Han Zong smirks bitterly, raising a hand with sharp iron claws. Sneering, demons? Humans? I am a transmigrator. My name, before and after crossing, is still Han Zong. Before crossing, I was a lowly office worker. After cuckolding my boss, he stabbed me, sending me to the afterlife. After crossing, I became a rustic gatekeeper in the sticks. But I have a system. Yes, the kind you see in web novels. My system is the demon-human system, letting me possess two bodies, one human. From this divine healer world, the other. A demon, humanity's sworn enemy. Its greatest strength is creating the heavenly law completion array. Once the array is complete, I'll sacrifice this divine healer world to break free from the great Tao's chains. From now on, I, Han Zong, swear to use both human and demon bodies to turn this world upside down. The heavenly law completion array must be finished. I must leave this place. Siyu Huang's face darkens. Grinding his teeth. Han Zong, did you hit your head on a pole today? The human Han Zong was executed by us 3 years ago. Han Zong sneers arrogantly. The one before you now is only the demon Han Zong. Clasping his hands, he shouts, Nine-tailed fox battle armor. Merge. Instantly, flames like 9 foxtails blaze fiercely around him. Seeing this, Siyu Huang's eyes pierce the void. Snorting coldly. Want a fight? The divine healer palace never fears. All disciples, prepare for battle. At the command, the bald men fling off their black cloaks, shouting in unison, battle armor. Merge. In a flash, their white robes turn dazzling gold, forming Arhat battle armor seals that fuse into their bodies. Siyu Huang clasps his hands, muttering, Bodhisattva battle armor. Merge. A soft pink glow radiates, encircling him like a solar halo. Both sides unleash their moves, clashing in an earth-shaking explosion that rocks the space. Siyu Huang raises his hand, shouting, all divine healer palace disciples, full assault. The bald elders form hand seals, pink energy orbs materializing before them. The orbs shoot toward Han Zong, crashing into his battle armor, triggering consecutive explosions, smoke rising thickly. Struck, Han Zong channels protective energy, summoning nine-tailed defense. Towering fiery tails swing, deflecting all orbs away. He pounds his chest where the blow landed, grinning unscathed. Good, my turn. Nine-tail fox phantom. Illusory duplicates split from his body, forming countless clones. One phantom darts before a bald elder, making him tremble in panic. Before he can react, a punch lands, sweat pouring as he screams, wait. No. Relentless, Han Zong unleashes furious fox break from the void. A lion-like spirit beast charges, knocking the elders down like straw in a storm. The survivors gape, mouths agape, too shocked to speak. Han Zong glares coldly, lips curling in disdain. What? Stunned already? He stomps the ground, sending a booming shockwave. Clenching his fists, he unleashes raging fox whirlwind, a tempest sweeping through. A blinding golden pillar crashes down, scattering the remaining elders like dry leaves in a gale. As the dust settles, Han Zong stands tall, his 9 foxtails looming like a descended demon. He smirks, eyeing Siyu Huang scornfully. Immovable bright king Bodhisattva? Now it's just your husk left. The elder stands resolute, unfazed by the fierce gaze. Voice steady. Han Zong. You arrogant fool? He forms a seal, hands crossing his chest, conjuring a formation. Today, I'll seal you in the divine healer's underground crypt for eternity. Han Zong grins wickedly. Seal me? Ha, a joke that makes heaven and earth shake their heads. Just 2 moves, and your disciples fell like autumn leaves. Yet you dawdle with boring defenses. Moving, he laughs mockingly. Immovable bright king. Can you keep up, or are you out of breath? Instantly, he teleports behind Siyu Huang, channeling lethal energy into a fist. As he speaks, Siyu Huang glances back. Die! Han Zong roars, unleashing a dragon tiger furious strike. Siyu Huang summons the mountain seal whisper armor, shielding against the ferocious blow. Forming another seal, eyes sharp as swords, he says coldly, I may not match your speed, but breaking my immovable bright king? You're far from capable. Han Zong lunges forward, facing him directly, grinning like a feast is near. He says, then I'll smash that turtle shell and drag you out to play. He unleashes Foxfire flowing origin palm, a sky fire strike crashing towards Siyu Huang. Facing the terrifying force, Siyu Huang remains calm, activating an invisible spiritual shield to block the entire attack. His lips curl in contempt. Han Zong. Your flames are only this much? At the cold taunt, Han Zong grinds his teeth, face darkening like a brewing storm. Fine. I've spared you enough. Immovable bright king. He roars, summoning a massive fireball, its aura surging like an erupting volcano. Try my ultimate move. Fox Heaven Descent. From the fireball's core, a ferocious ghost beast spirit emerges, roaring as it charges Siyu Huang. The elder looks up, sweat dripping like he's caught in a summer downpour. A mighty spiritual force crashes like divine thunder, shaking the earth, debris flying in all directions. Simultaneously, Han Zong bellows. Siyu Huang. Divine Healer Palace. Turn to ash. He adds another ferocious fire blast, its destructive power splitting mountains, fragments scattering like a hailstorm, hovering in the sky. Han Zong looks down, voice cold with smugness. HMPH. All is settled. Suddenly, the ground quakes violently. From the rubble, Siyu Huang rises, roaring like a descended god. Flaming wheel seal. Void Buddha wisdom. Flame of all destroying. Seeing Siyu Huang emerge unscathed, Han Zong's eyes widen, shouting, even the Fox clan's heavenly fire couldn't harm him? Atop the rubble, Siyu Huang forms seals, green spiritual orbs glowing behind him. Gaze resolute. You're exhausted. My turn. Soul seal. Demon subduing general. The orbs burst, transforming into countless sharp blades imbued with demon-slaying aura, rushing toward Han Zong like a tempest. He leaps high, casting 9-tail fox phantom image, his form splitting into countless afterimages across the space. Myriad illusions form a cunning deception array. Siyu Huang smirks, fingers forming a seal at his forehead. Using illusions to dodge? I'll tear them apart. He activates a secret art. 2-step non-dual wisdom eye. Open. A radiant beam shoots from his third eye, pinpointing Han Zong's true body amid the illusions. Found you. Han Zong snarls, fangs bared like a cornered beast. Damn it. Seen through again. Instantly, Siyu Huang directs all the blade shadows toward Han Zong, shouting, go! As countless blades surge like lightning. Han Zong gapes, too stunned to react. A massive explosion erupts, red light engulfing the sky. As the shockwave fades, Han Zong's body plummets, lying motionless like a broken statue. As the dust clouds silently dissipate, Siyu Huang gazes calmly at Han Zong's motionless form, eyes steady but vigilant. Thinking the foe defeated, sweat beads on his brow, he frowns, staring ahead, murmuring, even the 2-step non-dual wisdom eye was deceived. It was all just an illusory shell. Even the essence vision couldn't see through it. What he saw was mere illusion. At that moment, Han Zong's fallen phantom begins to dissolve, vanishing like morning mist under sunlight. Simultaneously, a faint sound stirs behind. Han Zong silently appears, fist charged with energy, ready to strike. A chill of dread makes Siyu Huang glance back. I fell into his trap. Han Zong smirks triumphantly, raising his fist, glowing with ancient, eerie runes. One blow, and the ritual will be complete. In peril, Siyu Huang spins, shouting, Jade Mountain Seal Guard. Too late. A sharp spiritual force slices his arm like a fiery blade from the heavens. Instantly, his arm severs, blood spurting as he watches it fly. Eyes dazed, Han Zong's red gaze locks onto him, raising his flaming, rune-covered arm, coldly saying, fast escape. But not fast enough to save your heart. Old man. Siyu Huang clutches his wound, leaping back, breathing raggedly. Through the pain, he glares, demanding, Han Zong, how do you wield such runes? The scene shifts to the Divine Foot Palace's Grand Hall, where someone died, organs ripped out, where another drowned in the dark abyss waters, and to the Divine Arm Palace's plaza. 3 palace masters, divine body, divine arm, divine foot, all slain. Their corpses bearing the same runes blazing on Han Zong's arm. Siyu Huang roars like thunder. You killed them. You beast in human skin. When you were destitute, the Divine Foot Palace Master saved your life. The Divine Body Palace Master taught you cultivation, guiding your path. Even the Divine Arm Palace Master trusted you enough to betroth his daughter. Yet you repay kindness with betrayal, committing unforgivable atrocities. Han Zong chuckles eerily, raising his hand. 3 palace masters' heads emerge like specters. Wrong. This is their blessing. For them, death isn't the end. They live in me now. Soon, we'll be supreme. He soars, hovering midair with a blazing fireball, voice echoing like a nightmare. They await your reunion. Smirking, eyes blood red, he unleashes his ultimate secret art. Lunar refining form, corpse dissolution, merge. Space quakes with his breaths. After the technique, Han Zong surges like a beast unchained. Charging Siyu Huang, he swings a thunderous fist, roaring like a mantra. Offer your life to me. Siyu Huang sweats coldly, crying out in terror. Han Zong laughs maniacally, eyes gleaming like a zealot nearing his dream. Success, just a bit more. But his gaze shifts, revealing a flicker of shock. A longsword streaks like divine lightning, piercing between him and Siyu Huang, its shockwave hurling both into the air. The sword's explosion shakes the earth, sending Han Zong skidding yards, the ground behind him cracking. Enraged, he bellows like a wounded beast. Who dares disrupt my grand plan? As the dust clears, a figure emerges from the haze, wielding 2 snow-bright swords. Siyu Huang's face tightens, voice wary. Who are you? In the dim light, the figure's face clarifies, the legendary hero. Gu Bei Chen. Han Zong gapes, summoning a soul beast, eyeing the stranger. Where'd you come from? The Divine Healer Palace never had sword users. Some legendary janitor monk? He roars, face twisted in fury. What are you? With a strike, he shatters a seal, sending the frenzied soul beast at Bei Chen. Bei Chen calmly raises a hand, tracing a character in the air. Slay. Instantly, 1 sword arcs, alive, flashing through the soul beast. A deafening blast. The beast disintegrates in swirling smoke, all falling silent. Bei Chen gazes forward, eyes cold as winter night. If you truly wish to know, I'll enlighten you once. I am Gu Bei Chen, bearer of heaven's mandate, here to save the world from chaos. Han Zong grimaces, snorting. Save the world? Laughable. Monk or trash picker. Before me, you're nothing. I am invincible. Suddenly, a woman appears from afar, voice trembling with emotion. Father. I made it in time. She looks at Siyu Huang, tears streaming silently. Thank heavens. Father hasn't perished. Siyu Huang startles, turning at the familiar voice, sternly saying, Why are you here? Return to the manor. This isn't your place. The girl rushes forward, pleading. I won't go. I'll stay with father. Besides, I'm safe, because the Lord Emissary is here. Pointing to the towering figure, Bei Chen, she speaks. Siyu Huang freezes, repeating skeptically, Lord Emissary? Gazing at the named figure, her voice brims with feeling. Last night, I prayed to the gods for someone to stop Han Zong. The Lord Emissary is the meteor who descended. Siyu Huang frowns, asking gravely, Stop Han Zong? What do you mean? Did you see through his true nature long ago? Yes, she replies firmly. A while ago. Memories of the future flooded my mind. Like a prophecy awakened. Those memories made me quietly observe everything. And every detail came true. That's how I knew. Han Zong's ambition. He aims to destroy loved ones and turn this universe into a blood sacrifice altar for his evil ritual. Her words strike like thunder in clear skies. Paling Siyu Huang as he stammers. What are you saying? Father. She chokes. It's all true. Meanwhile, Han Zong advances toward Bei Chen, each step blazing with hellfire. Bei Chen, calm, smirks mockingly. Oh, you should know your place and retreat. Why approach me? Han Zong laughs arrogantly. If I don't get close, how can I crush that smug face? You're just a stepping stone in my grand tale. He raises a hand, summoning a forbidden move. Meteor Fox Break, 9 forms. Spiritual energy swirling around him. Giant soul beasts, steeped in demonic aura, are unleashed, roaring toward Bei Chen like a dark tide. Facing the overwhelming darkness, Bei Chen stands still, eyes indifferent, saying, "A mere spark dares to show off before a master?" Suddenly, beneath his feet, tiny sprouts emerge from the earth, small but brimming with vitality, like a single thread not yet a rope. A lone tree not yet a forest. In an instant, the sprouts surge like awakened dragons, upheaving earth and stone, earthen gusts scattering to block the charging soul beasts entirely. Without warning, they intertwine, forming a colossal ancient tree, its towering trunk piercing clouds, linking heaven and earth in one breath. As the dust clears, Han Zong sees the massive tree barring his path and hisses through clenched teeth. He says, "Some tricks. Is this a words become law ability?" Bei Chen snaps his fingers, gaze unchanged, asking coldly, "Han Zong, is that all your power amounts to?" After the snap, the tree dissolves like morning mist. Bei Chen's voice turns icy. "You gained power from the heavenly law completion array. Why not use it?" Han Zong's face twists in clear panic, the words tearing through his defenses. "Who are you?" Roaring in fury, he demands, "How do you know my secret ritual and array?" Bei Chen regards him like an insect trapped in his palm, sneering. "Guess." They face each other, eyes locked like swords clashing in a storm. Bei Chen crosses his arms, regal and composed, declaring, "A reminder. No change in reason. No change in path." Han Zong reels, stammering. You're from Blue Star too?" Bei Chen smiles warmly, like spring breeze, replying cryptically, "Keep guessing why I know your moves." Han Zong's face contorts, roaring like a beast stabbed in its weakness. "The system. You have one too, don't you?" Bei Chen turns cold as millennial ice, whispering, holding the script, toying with fate, knowing the world, truly delightful. In his mind, he thinks of the 3 fate cards, and wielding invincible power. "I've forgotten what defeat feels like, haha." His thoughts drift further. If I had such a script in 9 continents, toppling the current ruler would just be a matter of time. Snapping back, Bei Chen's gaze firms, proclaiming to Han Zong, "Before this unmatched power, all your schemes are but shadows in the wind." The words slap Han Zong. Enraging him, he clasps his hands, snarling, "I'm a transmigrator too. I have a system. No one's above the other. You can't stop me." Han Zong roars, brimming with confidence. "I've completed 3 rituals in the heavenly law completion array. Even at my worst, I can fight evenly." He summons a spectral image, conjuring Fox Shadow Furious Purgatory, a massive blue flame spirit beast, its ferocious form radiating flames that burn all. The specter charges Bei Chen, but he merely shrugs, raising a hand casually, saying, "Fire comes, water quells, soldiers arrive, generals block, no army yet." But the Yellow River's waters pour from the heavens. As he speaks, a crack tears open in the sky. Like a rift to the divine realm, a torrential flood surges forth. Like a forest deluge, its force suppressing the entire sky. Fire meets water, thick smoke rising, enveloping the space in a gray haze. Seeing Bei Chen shrouded in dense smoke, the girl cries out in panic, "Oh no! This smoke will obscure his vision, and demons' innate senses far surpass humans." Siyu Huang frowns, worried, raising a hand to form seals, muttering, This is dire for Gu Beichen. We must clear the smoke to aid him. But before he finishes, he coughs blood. The girl screams, voice full of fear. Father. Siyu Huang's face pales. Sweat pouring, he wipes blood from his lips. Gasping. I'm fine, the priority is helping him dispel the smoke. The girl grabs his hand, shouting, no need, father, he's the divine emissary. Mere smoke can't hinder a divine being. As she speaks, the smoke clears, and Bei Chen's figure reappears. Like a lamp in the night. Before relief settles, a green flash startles Bei Chen slightly. Blue-green fireballs hurtle toward him at blinding speed, nearly grazing his face. With honed reflexes, he leans, leaping from the ground, dodging the infernal barrage completely. But at that moment, Han Zong reappears behind him, a smug grin like a hunter nearing his prey. He swings a lethal fist, but Bei Chen's longsword blocks it. One sword seals divinity, 1,000-mile journey, shatters the attack instantly. Han Zong grinds his teeth, eyes bulging. He can sense my movements? Bei Chen's eyes flash blue, 2 fingers forming a seal. Chanting. Radiant sword breaks void, clear wind rises, slashing all demonic miasma. His sword, infused with boundless spiritual energy, becomes a turquoise bolt, streaking toward Han Zong like a meteor tearing the sky. Seeing the lightning-like sword strike, Han Zong leaps aside. The blade slams into the ground, unleashing a cataclysmic shockwave, shattering earth and stone like a hailstorm. Panting, face twisted with frustration, he grits his teeth, hissing. Those 2 flying swords, paired with the hidden power of divine incantations, even my lunar fire wood flames were suppressed. Humiliating. Bei Chen, stern and unmoved, steps forward, hands forming seals, voice low. Think dodging saves you? Palace within, falling heavenly sword, direct slash. Vast capital, sea waters open, instantly. A blazing red dragon soul beast and a turquoise fish soul beast materialize. Their spiritual force tearing the heavens. Seeing the tide turn, Han Zong's eyes blaze with fury. Thoughts raging. To defeat Gu Beichen, I must use forbidden power. Without hesitation, he unleashes all his spiritual energy. Behind him, a massive fireball erupts like a sealed sun. Countless flaming blades tearing free. Bei Chen raises an eyebrow. 2 fingers poised like a divine judge. Eyes icy, smirking. Use all your tricks now, or you won't get another chance. He points, commanding. Thunder Dragon, Water Whale, tear him apart. The twin beasts surge like red and blue lightning, their pressure engulfing the space. Facing death, Han Zong forms seals, chanting divine words, dense spiritual vortexes swirling around him. A 5-element array glows beneath his feet, its prismatic light cycling like ancient magic from the dawn of creation. One eye opens, glinting with eerie fire. He grins wickedly, spitting. As you wish, lunar false immortal. Meanwhile, Bei Chen's twin swords speed forth with unstoppable force, capable of cleaving myriad mountains. Bei Chen strokes his chin, analyzing calmly. False immortal? HMPH, the fire and earth rituals are incomplete, resulting in a mere half-formed vessel. At that moment, spiritual energy floods Han Zong like a deluge, making him roar like a beast pushed to its limit. His face morphs, curved horns sprout from his temples, his body turning demonic, exuding an alien aura never seen before. As the transformation completes, Han Zong emits a terrifying pressure, strong enough to hurl surrounding earth and stone chaotically. Like a gale ravaging the land, the shockwave reaches Siyu Huang and his daughter, engulfing them in dust and debris, forcing them to shield their faces. This pressure, astounding. Siyu Huang mutters gravely. Siyu Huang clenches his teeth, brows furrowing. So, he was toying with me earlier. The girl gapes, horrified. This is wrong. In my future memories, Han Zong never appeared like this. As the dust clears, Han Zong's new form emerges, a fusion of spiritual and demonic energy. Utterly transformed, Bei Chen remains calm, arms crossed, gazing nonchalantly, saying softly, finally showing your true self. Han Zong, clad in a fiery red battle armor, radiates destruction. Sorry to keep you waiting. Lunar battle armor, false immortal state. Complete. Seeing the formidable foe, Yu Huang pales, sweating profusely. This is his true power. Hidden all along. Can anyone stop him? Noticing her father's fear, the girl grips his hand. Resolute. Please, trust. The divine emissary will win. Han Zong's eyes flash dark purple, lips curling into a sinister smile. This play, it's time for the curtain. Mid-sentence, his form blurs like smoke, vanishing into nothingness. In a blink, he reappears before Bei Chen, speed-defying prediction, prompting even Bei Chen to marvel. So fast. Hellfire condenses in his gaze. Burning like it could incinerate the heavens, he swings a blazing palm strike. Bei Chen dodges instantly, slipping aside like wind through mountain crevices. Seizing the moment, he grabs Han Zong's wrist mid-strike. Eyes cold, Bei Chen declares, "Caught you." Han Zong grins, gaze contemptuous. Think it's that simple? His body dissolves into wisps of gas, vanishing into the air, leaving an empty chill. Bei Chen, startled, steps back, frowning. An illusion, so refined. It even fooled me. A cold snort sounds behind. Han Zong reappears. Murderous aura enveloping. Don't celebrate yet. Something stronger awaits. He reaches into a spatial rift, drawing a dark longsword exuding thick demonic spirit, the fallen desire immortal sword. Han Zong unleashes supreme illusion, his form multiplying into countless clones, dense as stars falling to earth. With a thunderous laugh, the clones execute phantom immortal trace sword, charging Bei Chen like myriad swords piercing clouds. Bei Chen snorts, eyes sharp as blades, controlling his flying swords, muttering, "Can't tell real from fake?" Then, destroy them all. His swords, blessed by gods, slash through the void, their light rending the sky, echoing invincible slaughter across 9 continents. Each struck clone dissolves into mist, scattering like dew under sunlight. Seeing all bodies turn to gas, Bei Chen's face darkens, murmuring, "Incredible, all illusions." A sense of dread rises, he glances swiftly to one side. Instinct warning of danger. Too late, a piercing whistle sounds, and a sword stabs through his chest from behind, drawing a pained roar. In swirling dust, the scene clarifies. Han Zong stands behind, hand gripping the sword buried in Bei Chen's body. Han Zong's face glows with triumph, lips curling maliciously. It's over. Victory is mine. Bei Chen, pale, blood spilling from his mouth, trembles, gasping. No, this ending, impossible. Witnessing this, Yu Huang's body shakes like ice. Sweat pouring, he stands frozen, eyes wide, petrified. The girl's tears break free, she sobs, crying desperately. No, divine emissary,